the St. Louis Blues, the arena was their home for 27 years. 27 years of loyal support, but no Stanley Cup. They've moved. This is the brand new Kiel Center, where tonight the new look Blues hope to usher in a Stanley Cup champion era. Their new coach is Mike Keenan, controversial, knowledgeable, and wearing a Stanley Cup ring. New faces, there are 13 of them, including some veterans from New York. One of them is Doug Lidster. Greg Gilbert, Essa Tikkanen, the outstanding defensive center, joined by yet another of the same, Guy Carboneau. Al McGinnis, the hot-shooting defenseman, 12 Stanley Cup rings among them. And a new gun, a rejuvenated Adam Creighton, who leads the NHL with 4 goals and 7 points. A new attitude in St. Louis for an enduring cause, a quest for the Cup. And this is the scene outside the new Kiel Center. Over 20,000 will come through the doors to this brand new building as the St. Louis Blues take to this new home ice for the first time as they take on the Los Angeles Kings. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Delighted to have you with us. Just as new as the building and the ice, the coach, Mike Keenan, for St. Louis. Just a couple of days ago, controversy already. Craig Janney, one of the stars of the Blues, got into a little tete-a-tete with Mike Keenan, who says he's not happy with the way Janney is performing.
Craig Janney is a player that needs to embrace change, and that's what a new program allows the opportunity for each individual to do, either to accept the changes and to buy into a system of play, into a program, if you like, and adapt their style of play and or their positioning in terms of the system we want to employ to better offset the needs of the hockey club. And he has to undergo a major change in terms of his own play.
I'm in the dark as anyone, but I guess Mike Keenan just feels right now that I'm not helping the team, or I guess that's what it is. Mike's the boss on this team. He makes all the decisions, and his decisions stand, and his decision tonight is not to dress me, and he is the boss.
There is never any question about that when Mike Keenan's on the scene, Bill Clement.
Isn't that the truth? We talked to Craig Janney this morning, and if Craig Janney looked like he was searching for his words there, it's because he doesn't really know why he is sitting out. But Mike Keenan told us it's a couple of things. Number one is work ethic, and number two, he said Craig Janney is a pace player. I said, what's that? He said he likes to pace himself on the ice. He has to learn how to play a high-tempo game to play for Mike Keenan. Now, the guys in New York know Mike Keenan is not the doctor of doom, but they also know he is the agent of change. We'll see how long Craig Janney lasts here. Brett Hull was the guy that was supposed to be unhappy with Mike Keenan coming here, but after a week-long training camp in Vail, Colorado, that's where the St. Louis Blues went for their short training camp. Leaving Vail, Brett Hull sat with Mike Keenan on a plane. They talked over the captaincy. Brett Hull is the captain of the St. Louis Blues this season again and is playing to death. Mike Keenan has him playing in every situation, and he is one happy camper.
Mike Keenan knows how to get the top story no matter where we are, no matter how many members of the press are here, and even when Wayne Gretzky is on site. He is here tonight. He's celebrating his 34th birthday. Gretzky and the Kings in St. Louis. We'll take a look at this Los Angeles team of Barry Melrose when we come back. Wayne Gretzky celebrating his 34th birthday today. Barry Melrose and the Los Angeles Kings here tonight, a team that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals 2 years ago, and last year they didn't make the playoffs. So a lot of new faces on this bench and some new young faces. They made some trades to pick up some veterans. The likes of Rick Tocchet will be on the ice tonight. Los Angeles Kings, the opponents for the Blues. But of course, this year is always the man they rely on. Wears 99. Wayne Gretzky's back.
He looks a lot more rested than the last time we saw him, lugging his suitcases in and out of hotels over in Sweden when we were there on the Deuce covering him. Wayne looks rested at 34, and he's a happy guy as well. The game has changed so much over the last few years, and now the defenses attack you, they hit you, they swarm you. There's less room for Wayne Gretzky, and the LA Kings last year had a really small team. Wayne got pounded last year, and they plan on changing that for this year, and Wayne is glad. Remember, for years you saw Yari Curry on Wayne's white side? Not tonight. Part of the transformation the LA Kings have gone through is acquiring people like Rick Tocchet at 6 feet 105 pounds. Yes, he can score. That's one of the things he has to do to replace Luc Robitaille, who went to Pittsburgh for Tocchet in that trade. but Rick Tocchet has to play big, and he has to play a physical game. That's what he has done so far. That's why Wayne Gretzky is happy to have Rick Tocchet, because Wayne's tired of getting pounded.
Well, one of the transformations that's happened on this team wasn't planned. We're going to see a 19-year-old rookie in net tonight because in one game they lost 2 goaltenders.
Yeah, if Kelly Rudy and Rob Stauber hadn't gone down with injuries, Jamie Storr might not gotten his chance, but he's gotten his chance now. He is 0-1. He has only played 1 start. This is start number 2. You will notice right away that he looks a lot like Patrick Law. You will also notice that he kind of has a presence in there, folks. He's only 19, but at 6'2", $195, he's a big kid and a confident kid.
All right, we're set to go here on the Deuce. 20,000 getting ready to roar. First time they've played here at their new home, the St. Louis Blues, taking on the Los Angeles Kings on the Deuce when we come back. Boy, what a magnificent news center. They'll have over 20,000 for this game, standing room only. 19,600 plus will be the normal sellout. The Kings in town to take on the Blues on a surprise starter tonight. Brendan Shanahan, who has had a viral infection, was not scheduled to even play. He's starting, Bill.
Yeah, and that's a surprise to everybody, including Mike Keenan. I don't know at what point Brendan Shanahan and Mike Keenan decided that he was going to play, but as of noon today, they had not talked to the doctors. When we talked to Mike, he was waiting to hear back. Big surprise and a positive one for this crowd. They went crazy when he was introduced. Cool place here, too.
And what a line we're going to get to see. We were talking about it this morning with Mike Keenan. This is a line he's talked about putting together. He's going to have Creighton at center with Hull and Shanahan on the wings, and he wants this to be a permanent #1 line for the St. Louis Blues. That's some firepower.
You know what you're going to get from Shanahan. You know what you're going to get from Hull. Mike Keenan has started another reclamation project, and this one is Adam Creighton at center. Now, if he can get something out of Adam Creighton, Mike Keenan said this morning, he said, you know what? I think this line can get 140 goals.
A lot of pyrotechnics prior to this game, so they're cleaning some of that up. That's the delay. I'll tell you, he's one happy man to have that first line together. There is Adam Creighton, the league's leading scorer.
Yeah, man, he's got it all, size and vision. He got 10 goals last year in Tampa Bay, but remember, Creighton was a star in junior hockey and had his best season ever under Mike Keenan in Chicago 3 years ago.
The checking line for the Los Angeles Kings has the 20,000 roar. Pat Conacher out to take the face-off, and the veteran wins it. And the Kings control as Zador bangs it up ice. Intercepted by Creighton. Creighton for the Blues. They've got new uniforms, a couple of new logos, including the word mark logo with the name and also the logo they wear on the front of the jerseys. And the new arena and the new coach and 13 new players. So this great hockey-rich history in its 28th National Hockey League season really has a lot to look at. Wrapped around the boards by Zador, and it'll be banged out of the zone by Tony Granato, one of the guys looking to really have a good season. A very disappointing last year for Granato because of the bad back. Gunned into the middle, Al McGinnis. Knocked away to the corner by the rookie, Jamie Storr. 6'1", 190-pounder, 19 years old, intercepted in front of the net. Michel Petit, one of the new members of this Los Angeles King team. Dumped off on the right wing side. Gretzky out, centering pass, and it's deflected wide by Warren Reichel.
See who was back there checking Warren Reichel at the end of his shift? After a minute, Brett Hull was back in deep. That's one of the big changes with Hull this year.
And on the back check, puck rolled in. Storr able to knock it away. Centered out in front by Kevin Miller. Banged it off the side of the net, and Gretzky picks it up. Wayne Gretzky has picked up a goal and 4 assists, 5 points. In the first 3 games, the Kings have not won a game as they lost their last outing at Dallas, at home against Dallas 4-2 on Tuesday. The Blues also started on the road. They played 3 games on the road, 1-2 and lost 1. Last game, they suffered the only loss thus far, so this is the home opener for them. St. Louis Blues, Kevin Miller in front. Miller tried to line it up, couldn't, got knocked away. Cleared to the boards by Warren Reichel. Held on to on the near side. Good play to hold that in by Esatikainen wearing number 10. The former New York Ranger last year won the cup with Mike Keenan and now playing for the St. Louis Blues. And there he is. Sends it ahead. Greg Gilbert shot that one high and wide as the Blues wanted to make the line change. Brought back out by Sean O'Donnell, one of the rookies playing for the Kings. Knocked away by Curtis Joseph. Joseph is 4-5 lifetime against Los Angeles. Shitnik picks it up. Say Shitnik clears it through the middle. Deflected, brought into the zone by John Druce. Druce goes to the corner and pays for it. Donald Dufresne putting the hit on Druce in the corner. Puck still sitting up against the boards over there. Help from Mike Donnelly of the Kings. Got it back to Drews. They wheel and deal along the line. Curry's out there in this line. Pretty good movement to Zhitnik. Zhitnik, the shot, hit off the stick of Curtis Joseph. It'll be played up and out of the zone.
Hey, we knew this was going to be high-tempo hockey, but we didn't think it was going to be non-stop. We're up to 3 minutes now without a whistle.
And 3 line changes. Near side intended for Donnelly. He wants to get to the bench. Al McGinnis will chase it down. The 3rd leading defensive scorer last year, Al McGinnis. 3rd back up ice. Back and forth in a hurry on this one. Peter Stastny, the veteran's out there for St. Louis, wearing 26. He's kind of a surprise starter, too. He wasn't scheduled this morning to be out there. Pat Conacher held up by Stastny. Those two were veterans of the New Jersey Devils. Brought in by Stastny. He's got some room. Dropped it back into the middle rows. Wide score. Over to get it. And there's the first whistle of this game. And in the corner, the rookie, Patrice Tardif, shows a little muscle for St. Louis.
Well, the St. Louis Blues have an absolutely sure thing in Curtis Joseph. We asked Mike Keenan this morning how many games he thought Joseph would play out of the 48, and he said with a half smirk, but half of it was serious, about 44.
He means it.
I think he means it too. Curtis Joseph saw more rubber than anybody in the NHL last year, and Mike Keenan, typically, if you look back at his coaching record, has a 1-goalie system and plays him right to the end.
As Cujo set records last year in shots faced and in saves. Incredible numbers put up last year by Curtis Joseph. 2,169 saves. Both these teams give up a lot of shots. They were 1 and 2 in the league last year in shots against them. They both like to play a wide open offense. Pat Conacher along the boards took his man down. Puck deflected though back in behind the net. Murray Barron goes back to get it. The defenseman got pinned up in the corner. Comes near side for Hull. Hull looking to break out. So Barry Melrose playing his checking line against the first line of the St. Louis Blues with Pat Conacher, one of those guys out there on that line. If that's going to be the case, they're going to see a lot of action.
Yeah, you mentioned the shots against, Gary. That's what both teams want to cut down. And Al McInnis, with his huge shot from Calgary, also brings pretty good size. When Al McInnis puts his mind to it, he can play good D, he can play strong D. And he is a happy camper, too. You know, the first thing that I do when I get to a team that Mike Keenan has taken over is figure out who's happy and who's unhappy. Mike Keenan said, look, my system is this. Some coaches don't agree with it. My best players should get the most ice time. That's why McInnis is going to play 30 minutes a game. That's why Hull is going to play 30 minutes a game. He rides his thoroughbreds hard, and generally they respond for him, at least short term.
Messier certainly did last season,
Yeah,
and that's why he'll have no problem with Hull, because they want to play. So they're going to play. Cleared up and out of the zone by St. Louis as Guy Carbonneau got it out of there. Carbonneau, a 3-time Selke winner. One of the pieces to the puzzle as far as defense is concerned, and a delayed whistle, a slashing call. Don Koharski is our referee tonight. Veterans Dan Shakty and Leon Stickle are working the game with Koharski, and it'll be on the Kings, and St. Louis will get the first power play opportunity of the game as Sean O'Donnell goes to the bin. O'Donnell, a rookie this season, is playing in just his 2nd game for Barry Melrose, who's got 2 or 3 rookies he's working with right now, including his goaltender. Melrose for the Los Angeles Kings in his 3rd season.
Yeah, remember we talked in our open about the LA Kings wanting to get bigger, wanting to get stronger. Same is true of the St. Louis Blues. And if you look past that, what both teams thought they had to do is get bigger, stronger, more physical. These two teams are like blueprint copies of one another. They attack. They like an attack style. You won't see any traps here, though, so this should be good entertainment when these two teams meet. But they stress attack, forecheck. They do not lay back at all.
Adam Creighton won the draw, so here's the power play for the St. Louis Blues. The Blues, the #1 offensive team early on this season. Their power play is tied for 2nd. They were 8th last year in the power play, led by Brett Hull, who had 25 power play goals, the best in the league. McInnis working one of the points. McInnis still has a cannon of a shot. There is Hull. They will set up with Adam Creighton in front of the net. Shanahan the far side as they keep that line together on the power play unit. McInnis' shot saved by Score. Rebound just wide. Hit Koharski, maybe hurt. Don Koharski took a real shot. He's trying to get back here. He took it in the right arm. I mean, that caught him flush. Oh, man, did he catch that. He was standing at the side of the net.
Yep.
And it was way wide and hit him directly off the shot. Creighton with a puck. Hey, you keep it going, and that's what he's doing.
I watched him. He never went for the whistle. I mean, that's his option because it wasn't his whistle arm that got hit.
Oh. Penalty killing unit of the Kings really struggled last season. This year, they are 8th early on in the year, but they were 21st last year. And for a team that picks up a lot of penalties, that hurts because they play shorthanded a lot. Jammed up along the boards. Power play for St. Louis. Shot, that one deflected wide in front. Steve Duchesne with it. McGinnis back to Duchesne. Shanahan, Creighton, and Hull are in the middle. Hull in the high slot. Shanahan to Creighton to Hull. Tip save made by Storr. Shanahan centered, and it goes through center ice.
I can't see the St. Louis Blues having anything other than a terrific power play this year. Steve Duchesne on one point, Al McInnis on the other. When you got Shanahan and Hull up front, if Janney gets into the lineup, or even with Adam Creighton at center, their starting unit is just about as good as there is in this league.
And with this line coming together, Yao brought up by Steve Duchesne. They are down to 10 seconds left on the power play. Wrapped in hard around the glass on the near side. Sador had it, lost it. Miller picks it up. Power play 2 seconds. Esa Tikkanen goes back to the point. Power play's over. Tikkanen shot. That missed everything. It was just wide. Held onto by Duchesne. Even strength now as the Kings have killed off the first power play of this game. Esa Tikkanen pinned up by O'Donnell, who just came out of the penalty box. Miller came back. Pat Conacher's seen a ton of action in this first period. He gets it away to Blake. Blake dumps it back in the middle of Sador. No score. 6.5 minutes into this first period. A dangerous bounce to Curtis Joseph. Joseph has started all 4 games for the Blues this year. Miller brings it in. Miller dumps it back in behind the net. No place to go with it. Warren Reichel. Reichel cleared it around. Swung back through the middle. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky coming. Penalty coming up behind the play on the Blues. Delayed call. Gretzky drops it off. McSorley to the middle. Marty McSorley waiting for help. Zhitnik delayed whistle. Zhitnik fakes, takes, save, rebound, kick. Still loose out in front. No whistle yet. Gretzky turnaround shot and a save made by Curtis Joseph. A power play coming up for the Kings, and he'll be on it in this scoreless game.
Get you back to the hockey game in a second. First, an update on this one. Hart
had the big cake this morning for Wayne, his sister-in-law, who lives in St. Louis. Wayne's wife, Janet, is from St. Louis. His sister-in-law lives here. Had a huge cake waiting for the Kings as they arrived at their locker room.
Did you have a bite?
Oh, absolutely.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was terrific.
It was a
Had a
huge cake, too.
sugar buzz for about 2 hours.
I still do. Zhitnik drops it off. Power play is Blake and Zhitnik on the point. Wayne Gretzky, the all-time leading everything. Shot by Blake. Cujo the save. Rebound Curry to Gretzky. Gretzky moved it in. Couldn't get it on the stick. Gretzky back for Curry. Had it blocked by McInnis. Cleared around. Not out. Zhitnik there over to Blake. Power play, Los Angeles. Gretzky centered. Curry was cutting it, taken out of the play. Short-handed, they'll work it the other way. You'll see Hull in the short-handed unit a lot. Moves it in, the shot wide by Hull. Zhitnik got a piece of him there.
Boy, Adam Creighton, too, was the starter on that penalty-killing unit with Hull.
Los Angeles 7th overall last year. Cujo and a great save. And Curry getting roughed up a little bit behind the net.
And you see who was right there as soon as Jari Kurri got bumped. Rick Tocchet grabbed, I think it's Brendan Shanahan. Yep, grabbed him from behind. That's what we talked about in the open, standing up for one another. The LA Kings felt they got pushed around last year. Watch this save by Joseph. Beauty. I mean, Tocchet, you know, I mentioned in the open that Tocchet has to provide some scoring. Watch this compact windup. Tocchet had to get rid of that shot, boom, like that, because he didn't have room for the big windup. Rick Tocchet came into this league as a thug. And I give him tons of credit because every year he has improved offensively to the point now where he is a legitimate 40-goal guy and can still play tough.
And for that, he gets $8 million over 4 years. Much better than getting beat up every night, scoring some goals. Power play, 1:17 left on it for the Kings. Jari Kurri won the draw for Blake. Blake had it knocked away and out through center ice. Warren Reichel couldn't get to it. That's a Tikkanen. Storr makes the save. Rebound, and the shot went wide.
I hit him in the shoulder?
I think so.
Man,
he
what a
kind
shot.
of put that shoulder up in the air and made the save on it. That was a Tikkanen short-handed.
When Tikkanen has time and gets that big windup going, look out.
Here he comes again. Esa Tikkanen faked it on Blake and just dropped it off. Kings down to 50 seconds on their power play. No score here. Zhitnik left it through center to Gretzky. Dropped it back to Zhitnik from Curry. Gretzky over to help out. Wayne Gretzky along the boards. Tipped away, then got knocked down. Creighton cleared it up through center to Hull. Brett Hull all alone out in the middle. 35 left on the Kings power play. They want to make a line change, won't here. Zhitnik ahead to Curry. Curry looking into the middle. Pass was deflected by Hull. Curry's got it. Curry will dump it in as Tocchet got picked up. Dumped in the corner. Bill Holder, the defenseman, lost it. Tocchet right through the middle. Gretzky was standing there. Marty McSorley rejoining these Kings after most of the season at Pittsburgh last year, and it gets by him. The rookie comes out, Jamie Storr, down to 6 seconds on the power play. Marty McSorley drops it back. McSorley on a long shift here, trying to get to the bench. They've changed it up. The penalty is over, so both teams have not converted on a power play chance. In the corner, Mike Donnelly. Donnelly's got Pat Conacher working with him in the corner. Guinness was there digging and dug it out. Donnelly right on his back. Good effort by Mike Donnelly as he scored in 3 games. Deflected to Conacher. His centering pass bounces to the blue line. Gloved in by Sador. McInnes started out. Good back checking by Conacher. And it'll be played by Murray Barron. St. Louis up through the middle. McSorley with a hit ground of the puck. Back to Sador. No score halfway through this first period, and a furious pace early on in this game. Shots are 7-4. Centering pass by Shukchuk from underneath McSorley again through center. Peter Stastny moving in alone. Stastny shot. Rookie makes the save again as Storr got the blocker on that one. Kings going for those rink-wide passes, trying to open it up here. Ooh, what a hit put on far side by Eric Lacroix, one of the rookies. Sean Donnelly, another rookie, sends that one in. Held onto by Cujo. They are hitting Los Angeles. John Druce got the last shot on behind the net. Can't control the puck. Stastny drops it back into his own end. Went by Miller. Now Kevin Miller gets it back at center. Stastny breaking with him. Gets some help on the trailer. Lidster shot wide again. We got a lot of shots that haven't been on net. Shanahan. That one a save made right on Jamie Storr, and a penalty coming up on Los Angeles. An elbowing call in front of the net. Was playing at Phoenix before the National Hockey League got started, so he is really in game shape. Lacroix was out there who drew the penalty, but also had a pretty good shot on a hit.
You know, the same thing can be said for rookies that tried to make these two squads. If you weren't big and you didn't come to play a physical game, there's the elbow that was called. If you didn't do those things, if you didn't have the size and didn't come to play a physical game, you didn't stand a very good chance to make either of these teams. Lacroix is 6'2" and 200 pounds, big enough, tough enough to really impress Barry Melrose.
And our coverage of the National Hockey League on the Deuce will continue Saturday night. The New York Rangers and the Quebec Nordiques. The Rangers, the Cup champions, are struggling. Quebec looks good. Off to a 2-0 early start, outscoring their opponents 8-2. Quebec's got rookie sensation Peter Forsberg playing for them. Owen Nolan's got 3 goals. You'll see him Saturday on the Deuce.
You know, a lot of people are picking Quebec, as I am, to have a pretty good season. And it's, you know, some people say, really? You pick Quebec? And I think everybody forgets they had the 4th best record in the NHL 2 years ago. I mean, last year was the funky year. I mean, I think the real Quebec talent level-wise, now they've got toughness with Wendell Clark. I mean, they're going to be a strong team.
And Facette looks like he's ready to take over as the #1 goaltender.
Yeah, that's the only question mark. If he holds up, they'll be good.
Here's the second power play of the night for the St. Louis Blues. Big, strong hit by Michel Petit on Creighton. That's another one of the muscle men added in the transformation of the Los Angeles Kings. Good hit again by Conacher. McInnes trying to hold it in. Pat Conacher drove it out. What a player. Pat Conacher in his 16th pro season, 34 years old. Still, Barry Melrose loves him because he gets it done. There he is with the puck. I counted the numbers today for Pat Conacher. He has played for 13 different teams in his professional career. He's seen all of it.
Yeah, he has in just about every league, too. And he's given every team the same effort and the same dedication that he does the LA Kings. And no wonder Barry Melrose likes him. He's been all over the ice in this period, back-checking, forechecking. He'll never hurt you defensively. He's a great guy to have on your team.
He is. Gretzky intercepted, re-stolen, brought back in Holder. Dropped off power play. Essatekinen's on this one. 45 left on this power play. Doug Lidster from the Rangers. Shot deflected wide. Batted down high in the air. Out in front of the net, they had Dennis Chassé set up. Holder drops it off. Backhand shot. That one goes wide. Brendan Shanahan trying to set it up in front of the pass, really. Brought back by Yari Curry. Curry taken out and knocked down. Good play made defensive by Doug Lidster. Got the shoulder in, took him down. 19 left on the St. Louis power play. Essatekinen in, shuts it down. Pass deflected, hit the post, and came right back across the full width of the crease.
What a great deflection by Chassé as he went to the net, and it banged right off the post. Direct hit.
Dennis Chassé was being knocked down as he deflected that off the net. Donnelly shorthanded, hit Cujo in the mask. Mike Donnelly, shorthanded chance. Penalties over. St. Louis 0 for 2 in the power play. We remain scoreless with 7:17 to go in this first period. Incredible that this is a scoreless first period in light of the pace. Carvado giving chase, beaten to it by Petit. Petit bangs it up near side. Tardif sends it through the middle. Almost on the setup, not quite. Kings back, McSorley through center ice. Off for Donnelly. Donnelly back for McSorley, cutting, couldn't get it. McSorley puts the hook on, and he's going to go. Down went Steve Duchesne. Out goes Marty McSorley. And a power play coming up for St. Louis. Scoreless game.
Who says clothes make them?
Minutes ago, Jamie Storr, the rookie goalie for the LA Kings, got a little help from the post. Watch Denis Chassé, number 27 in white, and then bink on the post behind Jamie Storr. That was dangerous. His leg was extended, and he almost had Chassé fall on it. Came back at the other end. Curtis Joseph, the big mask save. Watch Mike Donnelly's rising shot hit him, boom, right on the mask. The greatest advances in hockey technology have been made right here. That hit him right on the teeth.
Thank goodness for the mask. A double minor has been picked up here by Marty McSorley. He got the original on the hook, and then he got it unsportsmanlike for talking to Koharski.
You know what I think it was, Gary? I saw Don Koharski as McSorley was going to put his finger up as if to say, don't do anything. And you know what McSorley did? He gave him the big hand wave, like, ah. And I think he gave him the penalty for doing that. You can't show up an official like that with any kind of gesture.
Well, here's a big chance for St. Louis in this scoreless game. They get 4 minutes worth of power play time here. Sent in by Steve Duchesne working the point. Jamie Storr held it up, made a mistake. Shanahan to the middle. Storr let it go through. Hall over to get it. Storr was tentative in handling that puck. Understandable for a rookie. And almost cost him. Cujo comes to help. LA will change up behind the play. 4-minute power play here. McInnes has it and drops it back. Al McInnes, 12th season. Former Smythe winner and '89 MVP when he was with Calgary in the playoffs. Hull 2-on-1 with Ticken, and Hull! Save made by Storr, just came up, cut the angle down. Didn't play that one like a rookie. Shitnick in front, knocked it away and cleared out of the zone. Nice play by Storr, who came out and challenged Brett Hull on that last shot. Al McInnes from behind his own net. 2:54 remaining on this 4-minute power play. Tardif sends it around the net. Puck loose on the near side corner with a banging going on. Came all the way back to Litzler. Holder the shot. That's deflected, and a penalty coming up in front. An interference call in front of the net. There's been a lot of chatting going on here in the first period. The intensity of this is really high.
Who is this on? Did St. Louis have
I
the puck?
don't know.
Oh, I think it's going to be on the Blues.
I think Tardif's going.
Yep.
Patrice Tardif, one of the rookies playing in his 3rd game out of the University of Maine, is headed to the penalty box.
He may have interfered with Jamie Storr. It looked like Don Koharski pointed to Jamie Storr, the goalie.
2 minutes for an interference with the goaltender. Time of the penalty, 14.
Well, Mike Keenan might be angry, but you know what, Garrett? This is the kind of play he wants from his kids. Tardif and Chassé driving to the net. Let's keep our eyes on Jamie Storr, the goalie. There's 27 in white. There's 40. Yeah, he just, you know what? Tardif just sort of backed into Jamie Storr, and it was touch and go. Storr, there was a fine line there, and it was about 2 inches wide. It's the line that separates the blue paint from the white paint. If Storr is outside of the blue paint, referee will let that go. If he's in his crease and a player will back into him, he'll get called.
Can't get in there and interfere. So that evens up these sides at 4-on-4. And that's a big blow to St. Louis because they had that 4-minute power play chance. 4-on-4 situation. Litzter taking it in front of him. Litzter tried to drop it back. It was deflected to the blue line. Litzter will chase it down himself. Litzter sends it back for Bill Holder, the 27-year-old D. Another one of the acquisitions really going to help this team. A solid defenseman. Sent near side Miller. Couldn't handle that. Sador's got it. Darryl Sador for the Los Angeles Kings. Into the middle of Tocchet. Intercepted there by Litzter. Litzter scoreless in 3 games, but his job's not to score. Creighton, his job is to score, and he is. Over to Hull. Hull tied up by Tocchet. No room. Gretzky there. Wayne Gretzky starts it with Tocchet in a 2-on-2. Sador trailing. 3-on-3. Gretzky a little room. Gretzky tried to drop it off. Had it batted away to the corner by Murray Barron. Held it in momentarily. McInnes was there to pick it up off the Hull. 4-on-4. Hull trying to go through the middle. Sador broke it up. Good play by Sador. Tipped away. Blake starts it out. On Curry. Curry in. Shot. Save. Cujo. And he pulls it in. With Tocchet bearing down from the front.
That is a good play by Jari Kurri. He was looking for a rebound, but when you're shooting on Curtis Joseph, forget it, man. He's superhuman. Curtis Joseph, he is the closest thing you can get to a sure thing in goal. And he is picking up this year where he left off last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. I think Jari Kurri wanted just to lay a rebound out there for Rick Tocchet, but as I mentioned, going to break with Curtis Joseph, you don't get many of those. Barry Melrose this morning said it best. He said, the St. Louis Blues have something special in Curtis Joseph.
Esa Tikkanen, who won the draw, follows it in after the shot. Tikkanen behind the net. He is a great draw man. Centered in front. Duchesne's shot never reached the net. That one didn't. Storr makes the save. Tikkanen gets the rebound. Still a 4-on-4 situation here. We got him to go. In front. Shot save made. Storr trickles wide. He drew the D. Zhitnik to him and then came out the other side of the net. And Blake, going on the bench for L.A., appears as though he took that shot on the foot. Cleared around Holder. He touched it up for the icing call. No score. 3:46 left here in the first period.
You know, the new aggressive attitude is obvious to me when you watch the St. Louis Blues, and here is an indication of it right here. Look what Tikkanen does. I mean, go yourself. Drive the net, step out front, block, jam, scratch, bite. That's Keenan hockey.
And he's on our Miller Genuine Draft League leaderboard. Esa Tikkanen 6th in scoring, but look at the man on the top. Adam Creighton. He has had a great year before. In 89-90, he had 34 goals, 36 assists with Chicago. And guess who his coach was in Chicago? Mike Keenan. I asked him today, I said, does playing for Mike Keenan make you a better player? He said immediately, yes. Why? Because Keenan lets me do the things I do best, get in front of the net and pick up loose pucks.
And he lets him play, too. I mean, right away on the depth chart, in Mike Keenan's system, Adam Creighton is much higher than he has been in other coaches' system. And the coach sets the table for the player. He ain't going to score if you don't get some power play time.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Pat Conacher tipped it out through the middle. McGinnis goes back to get it. Scoreless first period. The shots are 9 each. It has been a wide open, exciting first period. There's Creighton with a puck. Creighton moving in. Sador on him. All the way around. Backhand shot. High and wide. Didn't get it on net. McInnes, power play again here. 22 seconds for St. Louis on that 4-minute penalty to Marty McSorley. So the 4-on-4 over. Short power play here. The 4th of the game for St. Louis. Duchesne's shot, save, rebound. Creighton just tipped it wide. Hull to Creighton. Couldn't get a stick on it. Played by Conacher out of the zone. I asked Pat Conacher this morning, I said, are those new sticks you got? He said, no, and it doesn't make any difference anyway. I can wrap it around hard with anything.
He's still using those one-piece sticks.
That's right.
The ones I used to use.
It's just a piece of lumber, anything to get it around the boards. Power play over now, and the Kings have killed off that double minor with a little help from a St. Louis penalty. Sean O'Donnell back behind the net in front. The shot deflected wide. Greg Gilbert was there for the chance. Comes back to John Druce. Druce has got Donnelly ahead. Knocked down out of the air by Lidster.
That doesn't take a lot of precision just to ram it around the boards, does it?
Or a particular stick. And Patty had a big smile on his face. Jari Kurri. Kurri sends that one in wide. We're down to 2:08 left here in the period. There's Doug Lidster, who didn't play a lot during the regular season and then came on for the Rangers in the playoffs, including the Stanley Cup Final Series, and was magnificent. Touched up with the icing call as Sean O'Donnell is back to get it.
Well, the Blues generated their chances. Adam Creighton, as you mentioned, Gary, loves the front of the net on the power play. First of all, he's big. At 6'5", 220 pounds, he's hard to move. Besides that, look at the reach on him. You can tell, I think you can tell he with the naked eye that he's tall and lanky. He uses a maximum length stick. He's hard to tie up. He had it. He just missed the net on the rebound.
Look how hard he is to move.
Yeah, I mean, he's big and gangly, and he's flexible. You hit him. Sometimes the little guys that are compact, you hit them and they roll over like a bowling ball. He just kind of bends.
That's a Mike Keenan kind of player. And at 49 left here, Blues 0 for 4 on the power play. Have had only 4 shots on their chances. The Kings have gone 0 for 2 on their power play opportunities in this game. Chassé starts it the other way. St. Louis had it intercepted by Tocchet. Got it to Gretzky. Gretzky tried to center, blocked behind the net. Chassé made up for the mistake by blocking the Gretzky pass. Chassé chasing at center. Zhitnik there ahead of him. Zhitnik dumps it into the zone. Curtis Joseph went back to hold it up. 1:20 left here in this first period. Brendan Shanahan, the new Kiel Center, downtown St. Louis. First Blues game in this their new home, and what a facility they have got. McSorley tied up, chased off the play, comes back to get it. Good work by Guy Carbonneau. Couple of veterans right there. Carbonneau tried to block it, couldn't. A minute to go in the period, and they will waive off any icing here. Steve Duchesne, the 29-year-old veteran, came back to play it, but it ends up as a souvenir in the seats. 53 seconds left on the clock.
Well, you know, there were different stories about conditioning from the different coaches this morning. Wayne Gretzky, I think, is in pretty good shape right now. Remember, Wayne took his group over to Europe. We did a couple of games on the Deuce. They played 7 games over there, so at least a bunch of guys. They got 13 guys combined, guys that played with Gretzky's group and guys that were playing in Europe for other teams that got some hockey during the lockout. Barry Melrose said the LA Kings were in better shape coming back after the lockout than they were for the September camp.
It's amazing, huh?
What? Yeah, and he said it was terrific, no problem. Asked Mike Keenan. Mike said, we're a month away. A month away.
Does it have something to do with expectations?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sure does.
Face-off won by the Blues. You see how much ice time McInnes is logging. What Bill was talking about earlier with Mike Keenan saying, my best players play the most. Some people don't agree with that, but I do, and that's how McInnes is being worked here in this period. Adam Creighton picks it up, sends it in.
The best players sure like it.
Jamie Storr back to get it. Players rarely complain about too much ice time.
Never. Have you ever heard anybody say, boy, he's playing me way too much?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard anyone
Never.
say that. Tony Granato moving it in. Drops it off left wing side. LA trying to get one here. Kevin Todd. Todd got dumped in the corner. Hit by Murray Barron. In front. Backhand shot. Never got in. By Lacroix. Sador up at the point. Wants the puck. Gets it. Shoots it. Deflected in front again. Shot wide of the net. That time by Todd.
See who blocked that shot? Brett Hull on his knees in front of the shooter blocking the shot. Times have changed.
We'll send him a copy of that just so he can see it and show it to Mike Keenan. There's the rookie, Jamie Storr, who got the job done here in the first period as he came away with 10 saves, 9 at the other end for Curtis Joseph. And we've completed one here at the new Kiel Center. Blues and Kings no score.
Here. And there's an icing. Well, Brett Hull is going to be the main man for Mike Keenan on this hockey team. He is the captain. He is playing in all situations. And one of the reasons that Mike Keenan has developed a strong relationship with Brett Hull already is because of plays like this. There is Hull number 16 in white. The shot right at the end of the period that was taken, and Brett Hull was able to get in front of it. Mike Keenan, yes, he is the agent of change. He is coach and general manager here. Players must adjust to him, or it's quite simple. He will adjust them to another team. His top line is out there now. He's got Adam Creighton at center, Brett Hull out there with him. Adam Creighton lost the draw. Barry Melrose doesn't look as if he wants his top line of Wayne Gretzky with Warren Reichel and Rick Tocchet out there against the Hull-Creighton line. This one comes up to Granato, taken out of the air by Al McInnes. Interesting first period. Kind of wide open. A lot of attack, but well played defensively. There were no breakaways. There were no 2-on-1s. Granato in front. Oh, what a play breaking to the net was Eric Lacroix. Eric Lacroix, watch him. Where's number 28? Barry Melrose said not pretty, but he gets the job done. He was everywhere in the first period. Blake tries one that's blocked. Dumps it back in. Murray Barron's going to try and wind this one, and he has no room, so he just dumps it out and all the way down. So the Kings will regroup and take it back the other way. Now Barry Melrose comes with the Gretzky line. He's got Warren Reichel on the left and Rick Tocchet on the right. Boy, there's not much room out there. These teams will not play a trap, but they are well coached defensively. Both want to improve in their goals against, and the way they played the first period, if they can duplicate more hockey like they played in the first, they are both in business. This is Billy Holder. Up and in, tried for the pass to Brendan Shanahan, who was cutting across the blue line. That didn't connect. So we've got a little dump and chase going here early in the second period. Hey, Sador with a back pass that went off Shanahan's skate and right back to him. And another dump in. This one hung up in the back of the net, and Curtis Joseph wisely goes for the faceoff with 3 LA Kings in deep. Now, Rick Tocchet's banged up already. You can see that he's got a bandage on his nose. He took one in the chin. Well, the numbers for the first period, scoreless. The shots, 10 for St. Louis, 9 for Los Angeles. 9 different LA Kings ended up with shots. Scoring chances, 6 for the Blues, 3 for Los Angeles. Adam Creighton whistled one wide, and Denny Schass for St. Louis hit the post. Face-offs pretty even. And power plays, in spite of the fact that they've been good for both teams this year, nothing in the first period. And Rick Tocchet's got that tough look going now. He's got the beard working. Good hit on Dufresne behind the net. That is the way Rick Tocchet. There's the stick that he took. Have no fear, partner. I've got things taken care of here. Gary Thorne is back, and I've liked this play-by-play thing so much, I think I'm just going to keep going. Okay, here we are.
Is this the Wally Pipp story?
No, it's my period to do play-by-play and yours to do color.
Hey, did you see him fall down out there?
Yeah.
That's a color. Centering pass. Score! The Blues are on the board! Greg Johnson. Nice timing, huh?
My first chance to call an NHL goal, and you arrived. Oh, man. Well, the Blues are on the board. The kids that both teams have used in this game have impressed me. Lacroix for Los Angeles, and this kid, Denis Chassé, for the St. Louis Blues. Always driving. You can see the mistake right there at the blue line. Everybody stopped. All of the LA Kings stopped when Marty McSorley went down. And away came the Blues. I don't even know who that was cutting in, Gary.
Craig Johnson.
Craig Johnson. So this is the kid line that Mike Keenan has together. They just bull their way to the net. That's the first clear-cut 2-on-1 and the first defensive breakdown in this hockey game, and the Blues capitalized on it.
And the first NHL goal scored in the new Kiel Center. And the former U.S. Olympic team member, Craig Johnson, puts it home on the good pass by Chassé. And St. Louis takes the 1-0 lead. 2:14 time of the goal. Chassé will pick up the only assist. McInnes behind the net. John Druce on him. Druce able to hold it in. Druce trying to go to the middle. Adam Creighton knocked it away and took an elbow, and down he goes. Creighton got leveled by Mike Donnelly, who got the stick up.
He's going to get them both. He's going to get Creighton for the slash, and Mike Donnelly went at Adam Creighton. He had to reach up to mush him, but he wanted to give him the face rub, and he leveled Creighton. Timber was all you heard when Creighton was going down. There's the call. Slash on Creighton, which I think has already happened. Look at Donnelly. He went for him. Yeah, Creighton had to slash Donnelly before that. Mike Donnelly turning around and saying, what? I didn't do anything. Just tried to break his face.
What's the problem?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Donnelly goes in the flash, 2:46, and there'll be a 4-on-4 situation coming up here. Craig Johnson of the University of Minnesota, who picked up that goal, another one of the youngsters working on this team. He played at the U.S. Olympic team for the entire season last year after being at Minnesota for 3 seasons. And he is from St. Paul, Minnesota, and has given St. Louis the 1-0 lead in this game.
So there you go. He's in the record books. This is not his first NHL goal. He has 1 goal, but he will now forevermore get credit as being the first goal scorer in the history of the Kiel Center.
And he'll hope to be around here a long time to have people reminded of that. Save made at the other end by the rookie, Jamie Storr. So the youngsters were involved in that first goal, one getting it and the one who gave it up, although not much he was going to do on that one. Zhitnik gets hog-tied and spun around by Murray Barron. Shot through the crease, Shanahan to pick it up. Shanahan coming with Duchesne. Shanahan dropped it off, trying to hit us a ticket and trailing the play. Couldn't. 2-on-1 break the other way. Blake on the near side. Blake gets it back. Barron in the middle. Blake shot. Save made. Nobody in the middle. Zhitnik drops it. Gretzky shot. Score! Wayne Gretzky has tied the game up at 1-1.
Well, this may be the only time the game will really open up with these two teams the way they're playing, and I'm talking about 4-on-4 hockey. It was a 2-on-1 that went one way, and Shanahan tried to make it a 3-on-1, but Tikkanen was covered. Here they come the other way, and that's most of the time when you see them going back and forth, one at one end, one at the other end, and it's not how hard you shoot it. Joseph made that first save, and it was a good one, but Zhitnik got the rebound over to Gretzky. Watch this, a little flutter ball, knuckle ball, and it was right tight to Curtis Joseph's arm, so he couldn't get out and get it. It's not how hard, it's where.
His second of the year and his 805th career goal. The all-time leader in all categories.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
So a 1-1 game. Gretzky remains out on the ice in his own end on the spin with Hull on him. Over to Marty McSorley. McSorley gets turned around by Creighton on the forecheck. Hull moves up. This first line's done a lot of checking over to Gretzky. Gretzky, centering pass, intercepted there by Bill Holder. Holder cleared it out. Marty McSorley there to pick it up. Kings getting back onside. Tockett's out there. McSorley cutting in. Creighton knocked it down. Still a 4-on-4 situation. Hull with Gretzky. Backhander blocked by Gretzky. And then he changes hands with a stick and gets it up ice. Marty McSorley comes the other way. McSorley sends it in. A 1-1 game. 12 shots for the Blues, 11 for the Kings. Hull starts it up ice. Brett Hull.
What's he got trailing from his pants? He's got a tail or something.
Zhitnik puts the hit on him. Blake takes it back in behind the net. Hull, who hasn't scored in the last 2 games, going after a point or so tonight. Gretzky dropped it back into the middle. Zhitnik tied up to play by a penalty or just the whistle as the net was moved. No penalty. The net came off for more space.
Here's a chip.
Still a second left to go on the matching minors with the Kings and Blues tied up here. Faceoff will come to the right of Curtis Joseph. Esa Tikkanen and Pat Conacher. Tikkanen won the draw. He's been doing that consistently tonight. Tikkanen at center. Donnelly mugs him and takes him down. Esa Tikkanen will see a lot of ice time probably against Wayne Gretzky. Tikkanen, one of the great instigators of the game. Icing call made there. He and Gretzky, of course, have played a lot against one another and are good friends in that sense, except when they're in different uniforms.
Yeah. You know what Wayne Gretzky did for the first time in his life during the lockout when he got home from Sweden? He went skiing. And yeah, he's picked up a lot of points in his career, and he's the leading guy in a point per game average. But he went skiing at Sun Valley. He and Brett Hull took their families up there for a couple of weeks. Had a great time. First time in his life. Skiing always coincided with the hockey season. Not this year.
Well, we were talking about that this morning. Boy, yeah. I don't know. Skiing while you're still playing?
Well, we don't know what kind of insurance policies they have, but we know that they're making way up in the millions. And boy, oh boy, if you get hurt skiing and don't get paid.
As a Red Sox fan, I remember Jim Lonborg and the great pitcher's career that ended on the ski slopes in New England.
It's tough to get hurt on those bunny slopes, though.
Yeah. Zhitnik dropped it off, intercepted. Blues trying to get it back. Tikkanen was out in front, couldn't get the setup pass from Greg Gilbert. Gilbert had it blocked. Held in by the Blues. Chased down by Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen's got Gilbert and the rookie Patrice Tardif out there on the line with him. That is Gilbert. Back to Tikkanen. To Tardif. Tardif has got some good size. Dumps it back around the net. A penalty coming up on Zhitnik. Delayed call. Tikkanen shot wide. A penalty coming up on an interference call in front of the net. And the St. Louis Blues in this 1-1 game are going to go back on the power play. Blake, you see, being separated from Esa Tikkanen.
And that is Alexei Zhitnik, and he took a chop and is really hurting. I mean, he's been like this for about the last 30 seconds, even when the play was going on. Here's the play in front with Gilbert crashing. Crashing the net. Watch this play on Tikkanen here. Oh, man.
Rob Blake.
Well, you know, you used to be able to get away with that with great regularity in the old NHL days. I mean, I'm talking old days, even in the 70s and early 80s. But you get your stick up now. If you're not in the penalty box, it's because you got away with it. And Tikkanen got away with it.
Zhitnik goes to the penalty box, even though he was later slashed. And the young man who can really skate will have his team short-handed here. You should take a look at Tikkanen on the bench.
Gary, you see where those guys are sitting right there? This morning, there was an 8-foot gap for the door to open, and there was no bench there. As Mike Keenan came out onto the ice for the first time for his morning skate here, he said, no. We have to have this bench going on the whole way. And he said, for that matter, fix up Los Angeles' bench as well, because there was an 8-foot gap between two sides of the bench. But now there's a temporary bench in there. I don't even know how they're getting the darn door open now.
St. Louis on the power play. They're 0 for 4 right now on power play chances. Los Angeles Kings and Blues are tied at 1-1. Both goals coming here in this second period. Wayne Gretzky tying the game up. Fans wanted to call there, won't get it. Attempted clear by Kevin Todd, didn't make it.
Should have.
Yeah. Now it's out of the zone. Blues are on the power play. McGinnis comes back to get it. Now McGinnis and Bill Holder are playing the point on the power play right now. Sent that one around for Creighton. Creighton had it bounce on him to Marty McSorley. Holder on the near side cannot hold it in. Gretzky tipped it away from him. Controlled by McGinnis. Power play down to a minute left to go for the Blues. Again, Kevin Todd clears it up and out of the zone. McGinnis comes back to get it. Miller's out there in the power play unit with Hull, and on the near side, Greg Johnson, who got the goal. Johnson, the rookie, dropped it back to Miller. Johnson, Dufresne. McGinnis is shot wide through a screen. Miller picks up the loose puck. Miller, with his second game here, has not picked up a point. The first game and only other game he played. McGinnis sent it in. Tip save made by Storr. Oh, can't believe it. Hull got the tip for the 5-hole, and Jamie Storr robbed him.
I wondered if the guys at the top of this power play unit were ever going to get the puck in. They were too close together, Kevin Miller and Steve Duchesne and Al McInnes. But finally, and Brett Hull, was saying, come on, get it to me. He was getting beat up in front. Good deflection. Ooh, we got a little shot in the nose from Marty McSorley at the end of it as well. That is the new LA King, Michel Petit. Cap Raider, the assistant coach, is diagramming something for him, and that's the LA Kings wanted more size, so they got a little bit more of that with Petit, and they got a lot more of that when they got Marty McSorley back at 6'2", 225 to 30 pounds.
They got Troy Crowder sitting over there on the bench, a big muscular guy who used to go at it with Bob Probert. Hadn't played for a couple of years. McGinnis shot deflected again by Esa Tikkanen. 22 left on this St. Louis power play, their 5th power play chance of the game. Blues coming into this one on the power play 6 for 21, but have not been able to convert. McGinnis starts it up with 12:18 left to go in this second period. Deflected wide of the net. Esa Tikkanen sends it back. Tardif looking in front. Tardif tried to center, hit the side of the net. Does center. Shot save made by Storr on Gilbert. Greg Gilbert wide open on the one-timer. Donnelly's got Granato ahead of him. He gets back, took it in there. He goes by him. Donnelly some room. Shot deflected off the blocker wide. Penalty over. So the Blues are 0 for 5 on the power play, and the Kings are back at full strength. Sean O'Donnell, the rookie, will start it up ice. He'll just flip it up, intercepted by Doug Lidster. Tied up by Drews. One-on-one the other way. Greg Johnson, his second goal, shot it wide of the backhand. Saved at the line by Lidster. Chassé tied up by Drews. Pass deflects into the corner. McSorley goes over. Poke checked away to Donnelly. Mike Donnelly of the Kings. Near side for John Drews. Drews tied up by Lidster. Fierce checking all over the ice in this game. They've really been in the jerseys here, including the center ice area. Lidster sends it wide side. Greg Johnson over to get it. 22-year-old sends it in. Heads to the bench. Got a little help getting there. Near side, it deflects. Drews couldn't handle that. Guy Carbonneau lost it. Picked up by Yari Curry. Curry will send it in on the goaltender, Curtis Joseph, who drops it behind the net for Hull. Tried to reverse directions. Gets some help from McInnes, who sends it out.
I got to tell you something, Gary. I got to tell you something. This is as good a half a hockey game defensively as I've seen the LA Kings play since they went to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Really playing it tight, and offside. Tocchet on the near side. 10:39 left to go here at the new Kiel Center in St. Louis. 1-1 in the second period.
Who says close?
Back to the game.
Two of the older teams in the National Hockey League squaring off here. They'll face each other 4 times before the season's done. They split 2-2 last year, with St. Louis winning both games played here. St. Louis starts the night the oldest average age in the league, and LA's 5th veteran. Sador save, rebound kicked in front. Curtis Joseph down on the knees on that one. Greg Gilbert picks it up. Gretzky went by him to Gilbert. Gilbert moves up. Gilbert got by Tocchet. He'll take it through the screen wide. Rebound far side. McGinnis. Has he left the ice yet tonight? Al McGinnis is playing a ton, isn't he, in this game?
You know what I've noticed too, though, Gary, in spite of the fact, Murray Barron may have taken a stick up high in the face when he was going, and I think it was accidental. Rick Tocchet looked like he was just following through, but Murray Barron, I think, was the unlucky recipient of a high stick.
No initial penalty on this.
No, I think Tocchet was just lofting the puck out, and his follow-through came up. Dump up to Tocchet along the sideboards, and it's hard to tell. He was bracing himself for Barron to come at him. They know each other. They were teammates in Philadelphia, and I don't think Rick Taga would intentionally try to get him in the face. But you mentioned Al McInnes playing a lot, which he is. He must have attempted 15 shots in this game. I don't think he's gotten but 1 or 2 in on goal, and he hasn't really ripped one yet.
He can.
They're watching him very closely, especially on the kill. They've done a terrific job. Yari Curry seems to have ended up most of the time out there at the top of the box that Al McInnes is lined up against, and has done a real good job of taking McInnes' shot away. Now, obviously, the challenge for Mike Keenan and his coaching staff are going to be creating openings for other people in the power play when people cheat to Al McInnes, and they will cheat to Al McInnes.
He's got a goal and 4 assists already. Creighton tried to drop it back. Bill Holder's got to take it at center. We're halfway through this game, halfway through this second period, and it is 1-1. Greg Johnson has picked up the goal for the Blues, and the Gretzky answered. Adam Creighton finding the new life here at the age of 29. So new here. When he talks about the St. Louis Blues, he talks about them. It'll take a couple of weeks, then it'll be us.
Got to get the we word going, yeah.
A lot of new players on this team. Fans have got a whole new look to get used to in this brand new building. Hull came in, put the hit on, freed the puck up, and chases it down himself. Brett Hull turning for the St. Louis Blues. 2 goals, 2 assists on the season, but as we said, Hull has not scored in the last 2 games, and only twice last year did he end up going 3 games without picking up a point. So a chance for that to happen here tonight if he doesn't get a point.
Yeah, but he's at least blocked a shot.
He's played a lot of D.
It's the name of the game. I mean, if you want to play for Mike Keenan, for that matter, if you want to help any hockey team, if you're not scoring, you got to figure out something else to do out there that's contributing.
He's doing that. Tony Granado, Chassé took it away from him. Creighton batted it up in the air. Keenan's changed up the lines a little bit with all the odd man situations, the 4-on-4s. He's got Chassé working out on this line. Barron knocked it away, and Barron starts it up ice. Off to McInnes. McInnes in. Wanted the wrister. Takes it by Blake. Shot. Save made. Store. Rebound set out in front, but was tipped away. McSorley. Barron shot. McSorley right there. McSorley looking up. Kings want to change. Blue line effort. McSorley knocked down as he brought it in. Murray Barron took him down. Kings will get it back as they are changing up. Doug Lidster.
There's Crowder too, huh?
Yeah, Crowder's out. He won't play many shifts unless there's a call for some real physical action. Troy Crowder out there right now with Yari Curry and Pat Connaughton. As St. Louis changes up behind the play. Attempted hit check by Crowder right there. Johnson sends it in.
He hasn't played. Crowder hasn't played for 3 years either.
And only played, what, 19 games the previous year when he did play. He was with the New Jersey Devils for a while. Held onto by Holder. Holder dropped it back. Gilbert. Nice pass between the legs. Shot. Tardif save made. McSorley bangs it off the glass. Good setup right there. Patrice Tardif moved in and had the opportunity, and Jamie Storr came up big again. Battle along the boards. They can't free the puck up, so they'll get a whistle and a face-off. 7:54 to go in the second from St. Louis in a 1-1 game.
Deuces, and behind them, 19-year-old Jamie Storr. He just turned 19 in December. Barry Melrose said, looks like Patrick Waugh. Watch this save. It's a Patrick Waugh save all the way. Down in the butterfly position, but not prematurely. He waited for the shot to come. This is the kid that has backstopped Canada to 2 consecutive World Junior Championships. He was taken 7th overall in the draft this past June, and the LA Kings were ecstatic. Their new general manager, Sam McMaster, knows Jamie Storr really well from Owen Sound in the Ontario Hockey League, and was absolutely thrilled to get him. They call him the goalie of the future because of their injuries.
Goalie today. Goalie du jour with Stauber and Rudy both out with injuries. Stauber for a long time with that broken tip of the finger, and Rudy out with a muscle strain. Guy Carmino for St. Louis right through the crease, held onto by Storr, and we're going to get a penalty called on that. Koharski on the other side of the ice.
Is that a charge?
Not sure. There you see Boston with the overtime win over New Jersey. Boy, there have been some tight early games. Montreal had a 1-goal game that ended up on an empty net, 2-0. There you see Philadelphia
on the
W.
board. There was a lot of head scratching going on in Philadelphia. Some of that will stop.
Florida, Tampa Bay. They played last night. Tampa Bay beat Florida for the first time. Florida comes back on their home ice and beats Tampa Bay. Detroit, one of the teams highly touted this season over another highly touted team, Calgary.
I was really looking forward to seeing the outcome of that game because I really like Calgary's team this year and I like Detroit's team.
Pat Conacher goes to the penalty box and goes alone. So the St. Louis Blues are going back on the power play. Barry Melrose is used to this. His teams pick up a ton of penalty minutes, top 5 in penalty minutes for the last 4 years.
Yes.
As a result, you got to play shorthanded.
Gary, they got to find a way to stay out of the box. I mean, I don't care how, unless you're an overpowering team, you just can't afford to play shorthanded that much time. You can't.
And as we said, their penalty killing unit last season had a tough time. They went from 1st the year before to 21st last year. They're going to be shorthanded.
Right. By the way, those numbers that we just had up there for you had St. Louis 3rd in the league in the power play at 28%. That is not including their 0 for 5 tonight. You compute that in this early in the season, and they dropped down quite a bit.
10 places.
Yeah.
This is their 6th power play of the game. Marty McSorley shorthanded. Neither team has given nor scored a shorthanded goal this season. Brett Hull in the power play unit led the league last season with 25 power play goals. Game tied at 1-1. Deflected along the point. Cruz batted away by Yari Curry. McInnes will chase this one down. McInnes early on tied for 3rd among defensemen in scoring. Bill Holder tried to kick that onto the skate, couldn't get it there. Gretzky tipped it away, then lost his stick. Gretzky had to go to the bench to get a new stick as it was broken. Bouncing puck on Curtis Joseph. Gretzky stays out of the penalty killing unit. There he is on the wide side with Creighton moving into McSorley. There's some beef right there. They jam up against the boards. A couple of big heavyweights. McSorley rode him out of the play. Duchesne tic-tac with Shanahan. Brendan Shanahan tried to go wide. Gretzky was right there. They were looking for that pass. Keenan likes to use the weak side post man. Try and hit him up. He did that with the Rangers last year a lot. One of their power play system plays.
You didn't see much movement there on the St. Louis power play. If the box gets set up right and the penalty killers get set up right, there are no seams. And unless you move the puck and the people offensively, you're not going to get a seam.
And Gretzky was right there where that seam was supposed to be and read that last one. That's a ticketing shot. Banged off the glass as he ripped it high. May have hit the crossbar and it's cleared out. Down to 8 seconds left in the St. Louis power play. The power play has quieted the crowd here at the Kiel Center because they're about to be 0 for 6, and they are. That's a ticket.
Look at this. The puck's stuck in his skate.
Perfect. Now, you couldn't do that in a million times. You could not do that if you tried.
He should have just skated with it.
Now it won't come out.
I know. Well, he's trying to knock it through. He's got to knock it back out the other way. There you go. Take it out the way it came in. Way to go, Essa. Happy camper. Gary, we talked in the first period about, look, nobody complains when they're playing a lot. Mike Keenan said he likes Essa Tikkanen better as a winger, but he's got him at center tonight because he's sitting out Craig Janney. I went to Tick and I said, I'd like to play the wing or center. He said, doesn't matter as long as I play and Mike plays me.
And he really means it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. Mike Keenan and Essa Tikkanen get along great. Mike doesn't bother him. Essa works hard and gives. I think of all the players that Mike Keenan has coached in the last couple of years, Essa Tikkanen probably comes closest to being the poster player, the poster child for all the other players of the type of guy Mike Keenan wants on his team.
Yep, and that's a fair statement. Cleared through the middle by Barron. McSorley had it. Cruz had it. Guy Carbonneau cut him off. Carbonneau sends it deep. McSorley's back there doing battle with Dennis Chassé. Puck loose. Rolls by Don Koharski, our referee tonight. The rookie Johnson over with Kevin Todd. Todd tipped it away to McSorley. Just jammed up in the corners here. Al McInnes steps up to hold up the defenseman down behind the net. Wraparound chance. Rolled in. Saved by Stewart. Hangs on as he had Greg Johnson out in front. It remains a 1-1 game in the second period. Other people, over 20,000 of them. Some celebrating Gretzky's birthday. He is 34 today. Here at the new Kiel Center. 4:50 to go in this second period. Game tied at 1-1. Johnson and Gretzky have scored in the second. Murray Barron shot deflected in front, did not end up on net, and a penalty coming up. And I think it's going to be on Blake, who's going to be charged for tripping. And another power play coming up for the St. Louis Blues.
Kevin Miller had a lot to do with drawing this penalty. It ultimately was not taken against Kevin Miller, but he had given Rob Blake all he could handle and tied him up. This is Kevin Miller's first tilt. He doesn't know where he fits in. There is Blake along the board. See 14 in white. Wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. Now watch what happens as Blake tries to get back to the net and does. Miller is still hounding him. and Blake was not able to pull away from Miller to get in front of Peter Stastny, so he ended up taking the penalty. But that was caused by Kevin Miller.
And there is Rob Blake in his 5th season, 9th leading defenseman in scoring last year, and a real star in this league.
Yep.
He's for real.
You know, talking about Kevin Miller, I'm not so sure Mike Keenan's going to be quick to trade Kevin Miller. He can play every forward position, and we said to Mike this morning, is it an advantage in your system? And we knew the answer. We wanted to hear it from him, though. If a forward can play more than one position, he said, absolutely. You know how Mike changes things around so often.
There's Hull, lost it. 7th power play of the game for St. Louis. They've had only 6 shots and are 0 for 6 on their past chances. That'll kill you. Deflected to center. Kevin Todd shorthanded with Conacher in the middle. Hit hard by McGinnis. Al McGinnis, Brett Hull, Adam Creighton, Shanahan, and Duchesne on the power play unit. Gretzky knocked it away. Gretzky's already got one tonight in a 4-on-4 setting. McGinnis came around the net. They are very familiar to one another, with the Edmonton years for Gretzky and the Calgary years for Al McGinnis.
And then they were teammates in Sweden. Gretzky actually invited Al McGinnis to go to the Sweden trip and the European trip.
And everybody kidded him. You actually asked someone who played for Calgary? Gretzky said, yeah, but he doesn't play there anymore. Yari Curry flips it up out of the zone.
And Al McGinnis admitted that he didn't expect an invitation and wouldn't have had he still been a Calgary Flame.
Yeah, those were serious confrontations between those two teams. Marty McSorley trying to get a backhander out, couldn't, over to Shanahan. His shot, save made by Jamie Storr. Hull knocked it down, couldn't get it, cleared out by Yari Curry. The rookie, 19-year-old Jamie Storr, is hanging tough in this 1-1 game, facing the 7th power play, and he's made some big saves. Esa Tikkanen, Donnelly got there first, Cardiff back to the point. Shot Lidster, deflected off the skate, back to Lidster from Holder. Lidster sending it, they've got 2 set up in front. Esa Tikkanen working there with Chassé. Tikkanen drops it, Cardiff, shot hit the side of the net. Patrice Cardiff tied up. McSorley picks the puck up. Good play by Michel Petit, who tied him up.
Boy, Mike Keenan's got a lot of confidence in these 2 rookie wingers, Denis Chassé and Patrice Tardif. They have been on all the second unit power plays that he has sent out.
With Esa Tikkanen right there. His shot is blocked behind the net. Gets it himself, tried to center. Tardif knocks it down and gets knocked down. And wanted to call, won't get it. Comes the other way, shorthanded. Gretzky lays it. Granado tried to go wide side, followed up. Down the middle, Drews, winding shot, blocked out deep. Got his own rebound. Rebound loose in the slot. Didn't get the second shot off. Still shorthanded. Penalty over. Back at full strength. Good job, and another penalty. This one's going to be on Murray Barron. So we're just trading power plays in this game. Barron was hanging on to Tony Granado in front of the net. And as soon as the St. Louis power play is over, the Kings will get one.
Well, the special teams guys will be in shape when this game is over. Big Murray Barron with the hold. Tony Granado just tried to get to the front of the net. He did. He got held.
Want to remind you, our primetime Monday special coming up on ESPN. It'll be Saturday at 8 o'clock, and it is live. A night before preview of the Super Bowl between, of course, San Diego and San Francisco. Our Prime Monday special is live from Miami. Mike Tirico will be hosting. NFL quarterback, former Phil Simms of the Giants, Joe Theismann, Ron Jaworski, all former quarterbacks will be joining him. Prime time NFL-style special edition Saturday, 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific.
Mike Keenan is still trying to figure out what he's got here. Remember, he was prohibited because of suspension from participating in the St. Louis Blues training camp back in September. So he's had exactly 2 weeks to get to know these guys. Still figuring out what he's got, he said today.
Well, let's see what happens on this power play as the Kings get the opportunity. Blake over to Tocchet, lost it. Guy Carbonneau. 3-time Selke winner Carbonneau has found a defensive forward as the game's had a long time. Storr trouble with that one.
That one bounced in the slot and took off.
That was the rock in the pond shot right there, the skimmer.
Exactly.
Wow, came up on him and right over the glove. Intercepted Carbonneau, knocked back the other way of the Blues on their penalty killing unit. Power plays are really struggling right now, and part of that's because the penalty killing units have done such a great job here tonight both ways. And McGinnis has played both ways, hit with a high stick, whistle as soon as he touches it. Our Pringle storyline here at the new Kiel Center in St. Louis. The first game ever in the National Hockey League to be played here. Wayne Gretzky has picked up his 805th career goal, adding to that record. Johnson picking up his second career goal, the one for St. Louis. And happy birthday, Wayne, 34 today.
Yeah, this 48-game schedule is certainly going to help somebody like Wayne Gretzky. And the amount of ice time he's going to have to log, turning 34. He's on the downside now of a career at age 34. And when you can play 48 games, you know, Mike Keenan brought up a good point, too, when he talked about playing his best players the most. He said, you know what? You want to rest him on an off day.
Yeah.
Give him practice off. I agree with that 100%.
Guys would much rather have practice off than the game.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever argued about that either. Still a power play for the Kings, where they have had trouble getting it out of their end as Gretzky winds up. Marty McSorley intended for Tocchet, too far ahead. McSorley will play it himself. McSorley around for Jari Kurri. Curry is playing on a point with Petit in this power play. 1 minute left to go in the second period. Gretzky centered. It's cleared out of the zone by Doug Lidstrom. Jamie Storr comes out to help. The rookie showing a willingness to play the puck. Michel Petit. Petit will send it in. Curtis Joseph couldn't get it. Guy Carbonneau does and gives it the 9-iron. 39 left to go in the period. Less than that on the penalty. 20 seconds left on the power play chance for the Kings. Tocchet intercepted by Guy Carbonneau. Tocchet brought it in onside, but it didn't matter. Carbonneau and Holder were there to knock it away. Kings still have time here. You're looking at the time remaining in the period. 5 seconds left on the power play. Petit knocked down by McInnes. McInnes one more time out of the zone. Got it there, and there'll be a whistle as it hit off the penalty box. Penalty's over.
Pretty good goaltending duel that we've got going on here between Curtis Joseph of the St. Louis Blues on the right and rookie Jamie Storr making his second start in the NHL. Just turned 19 in December, but he's pretty cool. So is Curtis Joseph. John Casey is in town now, backing up Curtis Joseph for the St. Louis Blues. And a goaltender from Switzerland named Paulie Jaks, J-A-K-S, is on the bench backing up Jamie Storr. That should tell you that the Kings are banged up in goal. When there's Paulie. Yeah, yo, Paulie.
23 years old from Switzerland. He was the backup for Jamie Storr on the Dallas game as well, the last game the Kings played. 5th pick, 108 overall, as you see. Wondering, where am I? Back to Blake. Blake, shot, blocked, deflected to the corner. Hull blocked another one. Rebound to the middle. Granato, shot, hit a skate. Rebound comes to Esa Tikkanen, and that's going to do it here in the second period. A well-played first 2 periods with lots of action and checks, and Gretzky's 805th goal coming here in the second to tie this game up after Craig Johnson had picked one up for St. Louis. At the end of 2, this one's tied at 1-1. Sports Smash coming up. Craig Johnson, there's the man who got that goal. 22 years old, U.S. Olympic team last season, and the numbers from this game through the first 2 periods.
Yeah, the St. Louis Blues have generated more scoring opportunities and more shots, but most of those have come in the power play. They are still 0 for on the power play, 0 for 7. The LA Kings 0 for 2 on theirs, but right now with this a 1-1 tie, that has been the story of the game. LA's ability to keep St. Louis off the board on their power play.
He may be hurt. Took a shot in the elbow. The doctor took a look at him. Jamie Storr at the other end, the 19-year-old rookie, is rolling along here in this his second game and making some outstanding saves. Brendan Shanahan, if you joined us late, viral infection, wasn't supposed to play, has played. Don Koharski drops it, and we're underway here in the third. Now McInnes back out working on D again with Bozon. In the corner, Murray Barron rather on D with him. Granato moves over, and Adam Creighton cleared in wide of Jamie Storr. Helmet lost already. Lacroix out there. One of the youngsters working on a young line. Kevin Todd, a veteran, out there with him. Near side, Greg Gilbert had it blocked by Zhitnik. Cleared by Todd up. Creighton rammed his head into the glass, and then another souvenir into the seats in the attempt to clear it. Underway, third period. Game tied, 1-1. League's leading scorer. Coming into tonight's action, Adam Creighton.
Yep, watch this hit right here on the sideboards on Kevin Todd. Now, Mike Keenan says when your best players and your most skilled players grind and play as tough as your grinders do, then you've got a contender. And that's one of the reasons Adam Creighton is on this team, because he's big enough and skilled enough to be an offensive producer, but his size gives him the ability to play the Keenan style of hockey. You know, Adam Creighton, I mentioned earlier, was a junior star. That's why he was the 11th pick overall in the 1983 draft. The Buffalo Sabres picked him 11th overall. That year, Buffalo had 3 picks. He was actually their 3rd pick, even though he went 11th overall.
Shitnick starts it up ice for the Kings. Shitnick all the way. Indian shot and a save made. Curtis Joseph, and Shitnick charged into the boards head first and broke his stick, but not his head.
I can't believe he's up.
He went back. He's back to the bench. That's his stick on the ice. I mean, no one hit him. He just was charging so hard on the shot. This momentum carried him right into the boards, and he shattered his stick back there. Near side, Chassé. Chassé will rip that one in. Jamie Storr deflects it to the side. Tocchet there, can't get it out. Petit chasing it behind the net. Johnson from Chassé at 2:14 for St. Louis in the second. Gretzky from Shitnick and Blake, 3:28 of the second. Third into the corner. Sador coming back to get it, and will take it in behind the net. Daryl Sador, the 22-year-old defenseman, who sees a lot of ice time for Barry Melrose's team. Wayne Gretzky trying to send it in, but way offside, and there's a towel on the ice. Where did that come from? Right out on the blue line.
What is that?
It's a towel, isn't it?
I don't know. Sure is.
I have no idea where it came from.
Oh. Well, I didn't see it, but sometimes what happens, believe me, I'm guessing on this one. A player will have a towel on one shoulder, doesn't even know it's there, and take the ice. Watch Shitnick here, number 2 in black, go wide, gets upended, and then disappeared. Oh, he did get banged up a little bit. He was lucky to get up to his knees. He at least got up to his knees. Otherwise, he was the human head-first battering ram into the boards. Pete Demers, the trainer's got some ice on his, what is it, his knee or his right arm? Oh, it's his hand.
Boy, he hit hard. Just momentum carried him in. Wayne Gretzky, who won his 10th scoring title. He's put a lot of those in the net. This is 17th year. Nobody, of course, going to get to see him except in the Western Conference, because teams are going to play within their conference.
Well, we mentioned Asa Tikkanen playing against Wayne Gretzky. When Wayne Gretzky went to L.A., that was Tikkanen's job in Edmonton, was to shut Wayne down, and he did that really well, a lot. Then all of a sudden Wayne said, great, he's gone to the New York Rangers. Now here he is back in the same conference, and they're only playing within the conference this year.
Talking to one another. This will be an icing call, with McSorley going back in the touch-up. In this opening night here at the Kiel Center. Not an empty seat. In fact, more people here than there are seats. 20,282 on hand. Franchise record for the Blues in their new building.
Gorgeous building. It's so well, it's cavernous. I don't know how else to describe it, but I like that look. The sight lines are terrific, and you can see everywhere really well. There's nothing that obstructs anybody's view anywhere other than us and sitting in our booth in front of some people.
That's from way upstairs where the luxury boxes are. Better view from down there. Cujo.
How about the St. Louis Blues new uniforms? They've got their stripes on an angle now. They've got more red in their uniforms. As a matter of fact, the road uniforms especially.
Shot went wide, rebound in front, batted. Cujo covers. Curtis Joseph making the save. Warren Reichel trying to ram it home. Here the official saying, come on, guys.
Oh, see Al McInnes spinning around there with Murray Barron. I think he thought he had an LA King. They looked like they were doing the jig. They had their elbows locked. Here's how it started. Face-off one cleanly. Look at the opening Marty McSorley had. He just wanted to get it in on net. Warren Reichel was there for the rebound, and Reichel smartly just tried to get it out front. Tocchet is the guy that came in and bumped McInnes from behind. Rick Tocchet has played a physical hockey game.
Tocchet 2 goals, 2 assists on the season. We're on a point here tonight in this 1-1 game. Chassé drops it in the middle. Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan's not played as much as he normally will when he's fully healthy. Cleared up ice. It'll roll in on Curtis Joseph. Joseph had Gretzky bearing down, took the chance and played it away to center and got away with it. Esa Tikkanen drops it for Shanahan. Chassé cutting, shot Shanahan, and the save made. Shanahan gets stood up away from the play. He was having a little stare down at center ice with Sean O'Donnell, the rookie. Gretzky drops it off. Tocchet. Gretzky. Tocchet. Shot. Save. Curtis Joseph. Wasn't sure, but he had it. Squeezed the pad shut. Lots of action around Curtis Joseph.
And Rick Tocchet's been in the middle of most of it. That was his shot. Curtis Joseph, I don't think, was sure that he had made the save. It looked like it was 5 holding him all the way, and he just sort of squeezed it off. Tocchet used the screen, let it drift. See him reach behind him? Yeah, that tells you that he didn't know that he had it. Well, Rick Tocchet, we mentioned, has to generate some offense. Remember, he's replacing Luc Robitaille, but he has to play tough and tough against other teams. Here's his quote. He said, when you play in the East, you don't see Vancouver or Calgary that much, and the guys have been telling me about those teams. I got to learn to hate those teams with them. Yeah, probably take Rick about a week and a half.
First time against them, right?
Exactly. Well, if he plays this way, he won't have to worry about it because they're going to hate him so much it'll come naturally to him.
He looks like that for most of the season.
Yeah, he sure does. You know, he had back surgery in June. He had a disc removed that was just wouldn't go away, and he couldn't get it better with exercise. So the LA Kings had to make sure that Rick Tocchet was completely healthy before they traded Luc Robitaille away, and they did, and Tocchet is healthy. No back problems at all.
Al McInnes has picked up a roughing call, and the Kings are going to get their 3rd power play chance of the game, and a chance for them to take the lead here in this 3rd period. Barry Melrose's team really locked into one here in St. Louis with Mike Keenan in the home opener on his new ice surface. Wayne Gretzky drops it back for Zhitnik. Gretzky, who's already got one, sends it. Shot. Blake. Great save, Joseph. He read that in advance, anticipated the shot, and came across as Gretzky set up Blake. Behind the net, Zhitnik picks it up. Tocchet out of the power play unit with Jari Kurri and Wayne Gretzky. There's Tocchet. Jari Kurri trying to get it to Gretzky. Had it blocked. Hull, short-handed. Blake grabs a hold of him. Slowed him up, but didn't cut him off. Hull moves in. Still moving. Blake finally rode him off the play, and Tocchet picks it up.
Boy, Brett Hull's playing like a bull. I mean, his legs are churning when he's trying to get by people. This is a determined Brett Hull we're seeing here tonight.
Both ends of the ice. Esa Tikkanen trying to pin it up at the boards. Gretzky reached in to dig it out. McSorley jams Tikkanen, but he won't let go. Right in front of the Kings bench, throws it up for the faceoff.
You know the thing about these teams, Gary, they've been trying to transform their teams into bigger, tougher, stronger teams. The easiest way to describe the improvement of both of these teams is they are now both more difficult to play against. That's something that Barry Melrose talks about a lot. As the LA Kings coach, he said, I want our team to be hard to play against. When he talked about Eric Lacroix, the kid we've talked about a couple of times tonight, he said, not pretty, but he's hard to play against. Both Barry Melrose and Mike Keenan love people that are simply hard to play against physically.
Little face rub over there by Tony Granato, who was on the far side on the draw. He and Murray Barron got into it. There's Granato. Barron and he were just sticking each other. They still are. Face-off won by the Kings. They're on a power play here. Their 3rd of the game. McSorley brings it in. Kings looking for their 1st win of the year. They came into this 0-2-1. This is the only game in their first 8 that they're going to play on the road. They're opening up largely at the Forum for this 48-game season. McSorley intended for Donnelly, deflected back Petit. Petit has worked the point on the power play tonight regularly. Overskated with Carbonneau moving up. Great checking by Lidster. Guy Carbonneau on the forecheck shorthanded, deflects that off his skate. 29 seconds left on the Kings power play. Wide side McSorley. Kevin Todd ahead of him, jumps to avoid the clear in. Near side Petit. Donnelly back to Petit. Michel Petit leaves it for Marty McSorley. They set Granato up in front. Deflected from Kevin Todd. Todd got spun around. Guy Carbonneau tried to clear, couldn't. Comes right back into the middle. Shot Donnelly deflected, never ended up on net. Donnelly reaching in. Granato after it. Granato sends it behind the net. Barron over, and the penalty's over. So the Kings are 0 for 3 for them now on the power play, and this remains a 1-1 game, 5 minutes into period number 3. Kings control the puck. St. Louis at even strength. Lacroix sent it in. Swap around didn't work. Duchesne comes back to get it. A lot of tough skating in this game. Brendan Shanahan got a step. Shanahan couldn't use it. Sador and Shanahan tied up behind the net. Still tied up. Blake back to get it off Lacroix's stick. Fans hollering as Shanahan still talking with Sador. They finally separated. Back the other way. Blake looking to the middle for some help. Shot it right through the crease. Had no one to get it to him. Sador gets a little what for. Shanahan found him. Comes back over to Blake. They trail each other all the way down ice.
Yeah, that little war had been going on for about 30 seconds.
Sticks get up on the far side again as Drews and Adam Creighton. They separate.
Everybody needs some.
Well, Brendan Shanahan hasn't played a lot, and you can't expect him to play a lot. This is his first game coming back from a problem, but he's mixed it up when he's been out there. This is how that battle started between him and Sador. Here's how it ended. Yeehaw!
Never afraid to play physically.
Oh, Tony Granato, I watched him come from this side of the ice. It was like radar. He saw Doug Lister and he tracked him down. He had a mission and he accomplished it. What a hit.
This game up for grabs, tied at 1-1. Greg Johnson, the rookie, has scored for St. Louis. McGinnis's shot, save made by Jamie Storr. Wayne Gretzky has scored for the Los Angeles Kings. And we have 13:56 to go in the third period. Esa Tikkanen will start from behind the net. Tikkanen will play both a wing and a center this season for Mike Keenan. Or center when he wants defense out of him. Jamie Storr decides enough of that and moves up, covers it up. 3 years at Owen Sound for this 19-year-old, and here he is, the National Hockey League with Gretzky and the Kings. 1-1 our scoring summary in this game at the Kiel Center in St. Louis. Greg Johnson, his second of the season, 2:14. Chassé picked up the assist. Los Angeles tied it up. Gretzky picking up his second of the year. Zhitnik and Blake at 3:29. That's been it. There's Greg Johnson. Plays with big size. 2 goals in the 3 games that he's played. And a lot of ice time. Esa Tikkanen and Hull are out there with Johnson now. On the draw, Kevin Todd against Tikkanen. Against Adam Creighton, rather. Cleared around the boards by O'Donnell. Can't move it out. McQuad gotten pinned up. Still pinned up in the corner. Creighton looking around to see who's jamming him from behind. Didn't appreciate it and gives a little extra shove. Nobody wants to pick up the hard penalty here.
No. Look at Tocchet. He is been clipped on the chin tonight. Now the new clip on the top of the nose, and he's got that band-aid covering up something else underneath that. Should just nickname him Nick Tocchet. He's nicked everywhere.
But he's going well. That's what he'll look like.
Yep. I'd never begrudge a guy that's worked as hard as Rick Tocchet has to get where he is. The big salary. I mean, $8 million for 4 years, and he deserves it.
He'll earn it. Marty McSorley cleared it, couldn't connect. Lidster will let that one go a little deeper. Chased down by Bill Holder. Holder for St. Louis. Trying to get it up ice, had it blocked. Held onto by the Kings. Granato shot it wide. Tony Granato the chance on the intercept. Hull comes back to pick it up. 1-1, 13 to go in the third. Hull wants to lead, the Russian does. Storr stepping out to play it. Backhands it up for Granato. Tony Granato. He's got a degenerate disc problem. Didn't want it operated on. Exercising it. McGinnis shoots it in wide. Hull back to get it. Hull working out there with Creighton. Comes to the middle with it. And Johnson on the line with it. McGinnis again just sends it in. Tony Granato. Granato sends it out. They'll wave off the icing. Curtis Joseph will come out to play it. Shots in the game. 18 picked up thus far by the Kings. 26 for the Blues. And a slashing call on the way to the bench against the Los Angeles Kings. Slashing call, and yet another St. Louis power play coming.
How much do you pay for a...
Penalty was picked up on the way to the bench. Lacroix, the rookie, for slashing at 7:29. The 8th power play of the game for St. Louis.
And it was a rookie mistake. Eric Lacroix on the way to the bench slashed one of the St. Louis Blues, but that's the kind of eliminatable penalty that has to be eliminated.
Al McGinnis deflected near side, taken and shot. 19 years old, second NHL game in net. Jamie Storr.
Second thing Barry Melrose said, second word that came out of his mouth after agility, glove. He said glove. This is the first time we've seen it. See, that's what Al McInnes has got to do. Be the decoy. Fake the shot, get it over to Tikkanen. Glove. You bet.
Out of Brampton, Ontario. He was playing for Owen Sound in the OHL again this year, where he had a 5-9-2 record.
It's one thing, you saw him move from right to left. It's one thing to be able to move, but you got to reset. And for a 19-year-old, he resets incredibly well. He gets there quickly, and is to reset, not only be square to the shooter, but know where you are in your net. Well, it's good. He's good.
He doesn't flop around. He's a stand-up goaltender. 0 for 7 tonight for St. Louis. Tikkanen drops it back to Shane. Tried to send it in. McSorley read it and sent it right back out. Kings have done an outstanding job reading passes in this game when they're shorthanded. They've had people in the right places, right time. Yari Curry read that. Curry lets Hull go by. Gretzky's on the far side. Sends it in. Curtis Joseph on the bouncing puck.
It's going to be interesting to see this power play, Gary. Remember last year in New York, Mike Keenan never practiced the power play. You brought in a bunch of people from all over the place, though, to be your power play here.
McGinnis blocked again. Marty McSorley. Hull in the corner. Duchesne. McGinnis. Kings come out to challenge the puck over to Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen dropped it. Oh, he looked up at the sky on that one.
Yeah, that's what they got to do. If somebody's out close to McInnes, Brett Hull can sneak in behind him like he did there.
But he didn't get it on net. Duchesne through the screen. Hit the crossbar. Hit the crossbar and deflected to the boards. Esa Tikkanen. Creighton back to him. 32 on the power play. Duchesne, McGinnis, save, rebound, Hull scores! Brett Hull!
Good things happen. This time Brett Hull didn't have to work very hard for it. But it counts in a big way. Much better puck movement on this power play. Went all the way around the horn to the big shooter, Al McInnes. When Al McInnes lets his one-timer go, I don't care if you're 29, 39, or 19 as a goalie, you can't control the rebound, and it came right out to Brett Hull. Just a little chip shot for his 3rd goal of the season.
Yes, so baby. Brett Hull has given them the lead on the power play goal. Al McInnes will pick up one of the assists and Steve Duchesne the other. And the Blues 1 for 8 on the power play, but that one is the current go-ahead goal. Lidster sent it ahead. 2-on-1 chance. Chassé save, rebound just a little bit too wide for Greg Johnson. Blues up 2-1, 10:30 to go here in the 3rd period. Chased in the corner by Lidster. Batted away by Lacroix. Shot in and held on to by Curtis Joseph. Wasn't sure if he was going to get a whistle, so knocked it away, but the whistle blew.
Well, this building is pretty noisy.
It is.
They cheered like crazy for Brett Hull. This is the largest crowd ever to see a hockey game in the state of Missouri. 20,282. And this is what they cheered for. This is the puck movement I talked about. It went corner, sideboards, right point to Duchesne on his off point, over to McInnes for the one-timer. You can't get people in position in time. And that's what the St. Louis Blues had not been doing. The LA Kings have given the St. Louis Blues far too many power play opportunities. You play with a bull, and sooner or later you're going to get gored, and that's what happened.
57 goals for Hull last year, 2nd in the league in goals. He's got 3 this season and has given the Blues the 2-1 lead. But still lots of time. 10:15 left to go in this period. Adam Creighton rolls it into the corner. He is tough. to take out of the play as he went right through Sador. Great here behind the net, and a fight at center. Tocchet and Murray Barron.
And it looked to me, oh man, Tocchet's landing left, but it looked to me like Murray Barron landed a solid right on Tocchet right at the beginning. Barron's been throwing blind punches since the start of this fight, and now he's getting undressed. The tough part for Murray Barron is Rick Tocchet can go equally as well with both hands. Barron, I don't think, can. Barron's bigger. Tocchet is just as strong. Oh, Tocchet had to land a punch too, man. His right hand is cut. And Murray Barron's got a bloody nose, so they might have had it backwards. It might have been Tocchet that landed the first good one.
But you see well away from the play. The two of them went at it. Wayne Gretzky himself said before this season started of the Los Angeles Kings, we are bigger, we are tougher, and we are going to be involved in more fights.
Yep.
And there's one of the guys who'll be in them, Rick Tocchet.
Everybody except Gretz.
That's right. Well, we'll have a couple of 5-minute majors to be picked up here with 10:02 left to go in the third period. College basketball coming up tomorrow night at 8:30.
He's got that crazed Robert De Niro look going here pretty good with the beard and the short do.
A little frustration on the Kings' part too. They haven't got a win.
No.
At home, 3 games.
Here's the whole key too. Barry Melrose has 7 of the first 8 games at home. This is their only road game, and they are winless in 3 games all at home. They go back home now for 4 more after tonight.
They won a W in the worst way. They were 9-26-7 on the road last year, not making the playoffs, of course. Only the second team in 24 years to have been in the Stanley Cup Finals 1 year and not make the playoffs the next. Brett Hull able to hold that in. Majors on both, 5 for fighting, so nobody gets an advantage. Creighton just battles along the boards. Shuchuk will start it out for the Kings. Gary Shuchuk, not seen a lot of action. It's his first game for Barry Melrose. Shuchuk comes through center. Off to John Drews. Drews, Conacher, and Shuchuk drop back. Good play by Adam Creighton, who read that. Sador sends it in. Boards here don't look very lively. Pucks that have been shot in off the board seem to pretty much die.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't come bouncing back out in this building. Sador back at center. Blues make the change. Off the corners. Not a lot of action on a hard shot to the corner. Blake waiting as the Kings were changing. Bounced it behind the net. Curtis Joseph back to get it. Shots 29-18 in favor of the Blues, who have the 2-1 lead on Hull's power play goal here in the third period. Miller will bank that one in off the boards. Storr lets it go to Blake. Blake with Gilbert on him. Miller intercepts. Miller sends it into the middle. Shot Duchesne. Save made by Storr. Steve Duchesne alone on that one. Yari Curry heads it up. Curry gets the pick. Moves in. Tried the center. Blocked by Duchesne to Donnelly. Curry couldn't control. Granato out there with him. Litzler played it up. Not tipped out of the zone. Sador save made by Joseph. Rebound. The Kings putting some offensive pressure on right here. Tony Granato. Yari Curry. Joseph got it for Duchesne. Long shift here for the Blues. And they'll wave off the icing. Jamie Storr leaves it there for Blake. Blues change up behind the play. Carbonneau moves up on the forecheck. Warren Reichel sent it in. Wrong side of the line. It'll be an icing call. Nope. Drews got there first. But the Kings couldn't control the puck. Shitnick back at center. Shitnick, the man who went crashing into the boards a while ago in that shot, taking his regular shift, so it looks like he is all right. Bill Holder on the far side. Off the boards, intended for McGinnis. Knocked away to Shitnick. Shitnick looking for Reichel up ice, but Holder stepped in. And St. Louis just dumps it in. 7:45 to go, third period. Blues leading this one by a score of 2-1, trying to get their first victory on this first game on their new home ice. Guy Carbonneau. Petit was all over him. Gretzky played it up, but not out. Died in the face-off circle. Reichel sends it out as the Kings needed a change.
Boy, they can't get anything going, though, can they? The St. Louis Blues are all over them.
So Barry Melrose's team that has struggled early on, going 0-2-1, has that much time left in the third period, trailing by 1.
Well, those deuces have a lot more room to work on the screen than Wayne Gretzky has had on the ice. Well, the St. Louis Blues have been excellent defensively. And the LA Kings have given them their power play chances, and Brett Hull moments ago finally scored a power play goal after going 0 for 7 on the power play, and the Blues lead it 2-1.
Face off to the left of Jamie Storr in the Kings' end. Creighton will come out to take the draw. Shanahan and Hull back together on this line. Adam Creighton spinning around, lost it. Kevin Todd won the draw. Todd sends it in. Duchesne chasing, lost it. Deflected shot, side of the net, wraparound shot. Hit the side of the net and came out, and a whistle. A cross-checking call on Brett Hull, I believe.
I think it might be. Curtis Joseph's anxious for both of them to get off his legs. Gary Shuchuk cross-checked into the net. I believe you're right, Gary. I think it was Brett Hull in the cross-check.
His first penalty of the season when he gets out.
Well, if it is him, he's going to be in every part of the score sheet. He's played in every part of the ice surface. Brett Hull has put together a terrific effort. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's a little weak. A little weak. When the guy's in right on top of your goalie, you got to push him over.
Well, here's the chance for the Kings. They're 0 for 3 on the power play as Brett Hull goes. And Mike Keenan looking up and down the bench here at his penalty killing units. Look a lot like his power play units.
Mike Keenan, yeah. Mike Keenan may be the new rent-a-coach in the NHL. I mean, you know, high salary demanded, guaranteed to get to the Stanley Cup Finals, got a short-term program for a couple of years that's going to work. And you know what? If you look at the tenure of most coaches in the NHL, they're all on a rental on a lease basis, you know?
3 years, and you've been there big time.
You bet. Terry Crisp is senior in the Atlantic Division, and he's got 2 years under his belt in Tampa Bay.
His third season there. Cleared out. Kings on a power play, trailing by 1 with 6:35 left to go in the third. Zhitnik. Gretzky out with Yari Curry. There's Gretzky. Back for Curry. Deflected to Gretzky. Gretzky to Zhitnik. Blake winding up. Zhitnik took the puck though. Zhitnik sends it around for Gretzky. McGinnis was there. Partially deflected though. Held onto by Donnelly to Gretzky. Gretzky centered. Shot deflected. Cujo just got a piece of that. Rolling wide on him. Zhitnik again. Gretzky set up Granato in front. And the clear by Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen's hanging on to his man, so Granato can't get out of the zone, and then dumps him. That's Esa Tikkanen at his best.
And Tony Granato.
2 of the big stirrers in the National Hockey League. Doug Lidster shoots it in.
And they may be 2 of the best players. I was thinking of this today, Gary. The players that can energize teams with their own energy on the ice. Not scoring necessarily, but with their own energy. Granato and Tikkanen can both do that.
Pat Conacher getting some power play time. John Druce knocked away by Duchesne to Lidster. 26 on the power play. Length of the ice. Bouncing puck. Storr had to knock it away. Those are tough. That was on in, just bouncing along the ice. Donnelly trying to move around Carbonneau. That's tough to do. Back to center, McSorley. McSorley sends it in. 9 on the power play. Left for McInnes. He's got open ice to send it out to Miller. And Miller will feather it up. And they've killed it off. So the Kings 0 for 4 on the power play, remain down a goal with 5 minutes left in the third. Conacher moving in. Taken out by Bill Holder. Holder and Conacher do battle along the boards. Sent around to the near side. Hull. Just out of the penalty box. McSorley to Sador. Sador's pass intercepted McInnes. McInnes lines up and gets tripped by Sador, who then goes down and hurt his ankle or leg, I think.
Wow. He is in pain.
They both are moving gingerly. McInnes skating away. Sador not up yet. Part of that collision with Al McInnes.
McInnes almost ran into him. Watch this. I mean, Al McInnes, I think, might have thought of shooting there, but when he pulled out of the shot, he went to his right and not to his left and ran into Sador. And when McInnes was spinning by him, he actually nicked him with his stick going by. I agree with you, Gary. It looked like Sador was holding his leg or his ankle. I was more worried about that.
Looked like he'd caught a skate or something, but I think he was also worried about picking up a penalty himself, and
he should have
went down in a hurry.
Boy, Al McInnes has played a lot and played well and played hard and played well defensively. Remember, this is one of the top offensive defensemen ever to play the game. He's got the hardest shot perhaps ever from the blue line in the game of hockey, and he has been solid defensively, as have the St. Louis Blues. The Kings have had to work real hard for their scoring chances.
No penalty to anybody on that last play. Both teams at full strength in a 2-1 game with the Blues on top. Hull had the goal. Brought back in behind the net, Los Angeles making the run. Kevin Todd, point Zhitnik, shot deflected in front. May have hit a Los Angeles King. In fact, I think it hit Granado. Greg Gilbert on the far side. Gilbert got it up ice. Zhitnik back to get it for the Kings with 4 minutes left to go. Hull tried to hold it in. Lidster sends it. Blues have to clear the zone. Michel Petit back behind his own net. With only 4 minutes left now, the Kings are going to have to open it up a little, take a couple of chances. That may open up. Odd man rush for the Blues. Tocchet back out. Tocchet paid for it, hit by Barron. Barron's been all over him tonight.
Looks like Murray Barron looks like he wants a little more, Rick Tocchet.
Not done yet. They've already had one fight. Tipped away McSorley. Nice reach in on Esa Tikkanen. Near side, Warren Reichel got it out. Tocchet's out there with Gretzky and Reichel. Straight down the middle. Blake, his shot saved. Curtis Joseph. Rebound in front. Gretzky saved Joseph. And pushed underneath him by Murray Barron. Rick Tocchet came charging in. Got a rebound shot that Joseph saved. Then Barron pushed the puck back underneath Joseph, who was down on the ice.
Well, Barry Melrose knew what he was up against in Curtis Joseph. The only thing you can do against a guy like Curtis Joseph is try to drive the net the way the LA Kings have tried to do it. I mean, Rob Blake had this puck left for him in the neutral zone by Tocchet. Took a good shot, and here's Tocchet busting for the net. That's one of the few times that the St. Louis Blues defensemen have not locked out the charging forwards. That time, Tocchet was able to get by Murray Barron and into Curtis Joseph for that poke attempt.
36 wins last year, third best in the league for Curtis Joseph, the 27-year-old netminder. He's trying to preserve that one-goal lead for the Blues. Blake gets it up. Marty McSorley. Sorley back. Gretzky in the middle with him. Sorley wanted to hit Gretzky wide side. Rolled in on Joseph. Bill Holder up, not out. Held onto by Blake. To Gretzky in the middle to McSorley. Another Gretzky pass just kind of goes unnoticed. Aren't many in the league who could have done what he just did with that pass. There's Gretzky. Over to McSorley again. Coming with Tocchet. Shot saved, made, rebound. Still loose. Knocked away Bill Holder. Good play by Holder to clear away from the crease.
That really gave Curtis Joseph trouble, and I think it's because it was a rising shot. It deflected off a Blues stick just when McSorley let it rip.
Gretzky sends it in, heads to the bench for the line change. McInnes the other way for St. Louis. 2:35 to go. Blues trying to win their home opener this season in the first game ever here at the new Kiel Center in front. Hull scores! Brett Hull!
Teams play a pressure game. When they are on top of their game, good things happen offensively because they force turnovers. Sometimes the turnovers aren't even forced. Good on the forecheck. 2 men in on Alexei Zhitnik. Brendan Shanahan had good first man pressure. He had help, support help. Brett Hull was out front. Oh yeah, he has earned those 2 goals in this game, folks. He didn't have to work hard for either goal, but away from the play, and when he wasn't scoring the 2 goals, he was working his tail off.
So a 2-goal lead for the Blues. Brett Hull, second of the night. And looked like it actually bound in off a Los Angeles King in front of the net trying to block it. And a 3-1 lead for the Blues. Now the Kings do have to open it up right now. Flipped in by Petit. Todd going back to get it. It could get a little dicey right here. Lacroix, the rookie. Lacroix banged up against the boards by Sean O'Donnell. By Doug Lidster, rather, and cleared out Petit. Petit for the Kings. Intended for Granado. Deflected away. Chassé goes down. Puck held by Petit in the zone. 3-1 lead. Blues on top. Down to just 1:40 left to go in this game. Brett Hull getting the last 2 goals. There he is, trying to hold it in. Picks it up, starts the other way. Hull. Poke checked away by Blake. Warren Reichel to Gretzky. Gretzky back for Reichel. The shot. Curtis Joseph makes the save. And the Blues now will just clear it out of the zone. Storr's got to come play it with Creighton. He fell down. He's not supposed to pin that puck up there, but will get away with it. That's supposed to be a delay of game call if the goaltender pins the puck up away from the crease, but rarely is called.
You know, Barry Melrose told me this morning that he'd been happy with the way his team has played, that their downfall had been 1 weak goal per game. That hasn't been the case in this. 2 things have hurt the LA Kings. Number 1, the penalties that they've given the St. Louis Blues, or the power plays, because of the penalties they themselves have taken, and also the quality of the St. Louis Blues play in this game. Mike Keenan's team is a new team, and they have played smarter than LA. They have waited for their chances offensively, capitalized on them, worked hard enough to generate a lot of the power plays that they got. Some of the LA Kings penalties were forced, but Mike Keenan's team has just played better than the LA Kings.
They're out shooting the Kings 33-25. So the Kings continue to give up the shots as they did last year when they gave up over 36 a game. But St. Louis is cutting that number down this season. Part of that Mike Keenan system Bill's talking about. As a ticket and won the draw. McInnes winds up. Saved by Storr.
God. Al McInnes had time to let that one go, and he got all of it. Yeah, well, if you just joined us, the St. Louis Blues have 3 goals, and they haven't gotten any on the glove side of Jamie Storr yet. Watch this glove save. Al McInnes had time. He pumped once, held. Oh, baby. That's terrific. I mean, he is impressive. Did the splits with the glove save, and Big Al got all of that one.
McInnes looking in at him like, who are you to make a save like that on me?
Well, Al, you got to try the stick side, bud. I mean, it's as simple as that.
What an addition to this team. All those Stanley Cup rings, of course, added. 7 players with Stanley Cup rings picked up by the Blues during the offseason. 14 total rings, including Keenan's.
That's something.
He loves experience.
Yeah, Asa Tikkanen leads with 5. And Greg Gilbert, I guess, would be second with his 3. 2 from the Islanders and 1 from the Rangers last year.
Carbonneau's got a couple. And they added Lidster, McInnes, Dufresne, and Keenan, all who have one. Kings pull the goaltender. Storr is out with 50 seconds left to go. Gretzky moving, centered. Cujo had that one blocked by Murray Barron in front of him. And that deflects onto the St. Louis bench. Faceoff will be in the St. Louis zone. Can't fault the kid.
No, you can't. So, barring a miracle turnaround here, 42 seconds to go. Jamie Storr will be 0-2 in the NHL. Doesn't seem like the kind of kid that'll get rattled. I mentioned that he had backstopped Canada to 2 consecutive World Junior titles, championships. So he's been in some tough competition. His focus seems to be really good. Now, Brett Hull, remember, has 2 goals, and watch for the St. Louis Blues, if they get the puck, to try to get it to Hull. With a 2-goal lead, Hully can sort of hang out in the neutral a little bit and wait for it.
You see that new trumpet there right on the shoulder of Brett Hull. That's part of their new uniforms, that shoulder patch with the trumpet, with all the great jazz and blues in this city of St. Louis. Wayne Gretzky could care less about that right now. Their club, his club, staring at their 3rd loss. They got to go back home, and if they can't get it done here in 42 seconds, they're going to go home without a win and be 0-3-1.
Well, it would take an absolute catastrophic collapse by the St. Louis Blues, simply because they've been playing so well. Oh gosh, they were in control.
Been real tough for the Kings against St. Louis in St. Louis. They've won only 14 games, tied 6, and lost 38 in St. Louis. The Blues are 8-2-2 against Los Angeles at home over the last 12 games. Tony Granato. Where's the W? Yari Curry will take the face-off. Guy Carbonneau against him, won it back. Gretzky at the point, tried to shoot it in. Carbonneau blocked it. Guy Carbonneau will play big on Mike Keenan's team. As we said, he's one of the best defensive forwards in the game. McInnes in front, got tied up and still got the puck. He got swung around by McSorley. Gretzky centered. Curtis Joseph saved. Back to the point. Gretzky shot deflected wide by McSorley. Yari Curry comes around. What a bunch of shoving in front of Curtis Joseph.
It's worse than that. It's punching in the face, sticking in the guts. It's war in front.
Rob Blake shot deflected. Right it straight up in the air. We get a whistle. We'll get at least one cross-checking call. McGinnis will be called for it with 3.8 seconds left, and McSorley's ready to go with Murray Barron.
Yeah, McSorley came charging in and never went back to his blue line position. He stayed in. Wayne Gretzky ended up back out at the point. Well, Koharski called something, didn't he, Gary? Or not?
He called a cross-check on somebody, on McGinnis.
Yeah, Al McInnes was complaining and looked like he was doubled over in pain at the same time. There's McInnes in front. Oh, yeah, he cross-checked somebody down, it looked like. And there's Tonka. I mean, I bet you if I saw one of those, I saw 10 like Rick Tonka just did.
Well, only 3.8 seconds left, though.
Oh.
And the Blues up by a score of 3-1. Looking to put away the victory here at home, which would make them 3-1. Empty net with Storr out of there. And in this 48-game season, the teams that get the quick start are going to have 4 legs up on the rest of the opposition.
No question there. If you dig yourself a hole, it's even a medium-sized hole. You won't have enough time to get back out of it.
Top 8 teams in each conference, remember, go to the playoffs. Kevin Todd will come out to take the face-off against Guy Carbonneau. Wins it back. Harry Curry shot. Curtis Joseph. Blake Gretzky fanned on it, and that's it. The fight. Murray Barron.
And Tocchet again.
And Rick Tocchet for the second time. The game's over.
Well, I got to tell you something, Gary. I know about Rick Tocchet. Murray Barron's shown me something. He obviously wants to stay in this lineup. You better be willing to stand up and be counted a second time if you want to play for Mike Keenan. And Murray Barron has stood his ground against the guy that has fought a lot more in his career than he has. Well, Barron gets the W, and Rick Tocchet ends up with the loss on his side, not handicapping the fight in the game. And now they can celebrate.
The 20,000 celebrate with them in the opening night here at the new Kiel Center in St. Louis. Brett Howe with 2 goals at 9:01 and 17:35 of this third period. The goals that made the difference. Wayne Gretzky got the only goal for the Los Angeles Kings. St. Louis winning at 3-1. 3-1. The Kings still looking for their first win. 3-1. Blues out shooting the Kings 34-27. Central Division looks like this now as St. Louis's victory has tied them with Detroit for first place. Dallas only 1 behind. Then you got Winnipeg, Toronto, and Chicago. The world famous horn here has been brought from the arena to this beautiful new.
Jeez, that's loud.
That is very loud. To the new Kiel Center. Los Angeles now just 1 point with that tie, trailing with Calgary on top. Third star McGinnis, second star Gretzky. First star 2 goals. Game winner included Brett Hull. Nice game, hard played.
Thank you very much. It was tough out there. I think I think you got a new look. Los Angeles Kings, they're putting a lot more effort into their defensive game, and I think it's showing, and I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to get adjusted, but I think you're going to see a lot better LA King team than you did last year.
Holly, hang on, guys, down the truck. Let's not roll the goals yet. You are the guy I saw blocking a couple of shots out here, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I knew I was going to get it for that.
Oh, listen, I mean, we've commented that, you know, that everybody look for sparks potentially between you and Mike Keenan. Gretz told us this morning that he said, look, if you work hard for Mike Keenan, you're going to love him. And I'll tell you what, we were impressed with how you worked tonight, and the relationship so far looks like it's working great.
Well, it is. It's fantastic. You know, it's an awful lot of fun to be out there all the time, and you've watched the St. Louis Blues play enough, and when was the last time you saw me out there for the last 2 minutes of a tight hockey game? And it sure makes it fun when a guy puts you out there, and if you're going to be out there, you sure want to make it, you want to work hard, you want to play well, so he keeps doing it, and it's certainly been a lot of fun for me so far.
I like the looks of this team. Yeah. I like the looks of these 2 goals you picked up, too.
Yeah, I'll take them. We're going to roll them now. For all the hard work you did tonight, I mentioned that you didn't have to work that hard for the goals. This was finally you got puck movement on this power play.
Yeah, we finally set it up properly. Yeah. And we got some good puck movement, some shots, and the puck just, you know, it's just one of those goal scorers' goals. It could have hit 3 people, but it came right out to me, and I happen to be in the right spot.
Yeah, you got the great forecheck going here on the second one too.
Well, this is great. I just released back out to the slot, and Brendan, his first game, he hasn't even played. He was fantastic tonight, and Issa Tikkanen came in and made a great play out, and I'm just right there again. I kind of got lucky here.
Yeah, well, it jammed you.
Yeah, and then I think it hit a shin pad or something.
When you work hard, good things happen, right?
Well, I'd like to think so anyway.
You got a little chemistry developing on this club early on, Brett?
I think so. We got Brendan. I mean, like I said, he hasn't even skated, and that's his first game, and he was great. And Rick Zombo's out with a twisted ankle, and Craig Janney, he'll be back in that lineup very soon. And we're going to develop more than chemistry, a winning attitude, and that's what Mike talks a lot about. That's why he brought in McInnes, and that's why he brought in the Tikkanen and Carbonneau. They know how to win and what it takes to get to the Stanley Cup, and that's the winning attitude they want to teach everyone, starting right from the first game. And it's going to take a long time for us to learn how they played with those cup-winning teams.
Just listening to you, we see how excited you are, Brett.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, guys.
Way to go, Holly.
Brett Hull, 2 goals tonight, first star of the game, and we'll continue on the Deuce with the Rangers and Quebec Saturday. 4 o'clock live, or that'll be at 7:30 rather on Saturday. 4:30 Pacific, Rangers and Quebec. Kenny Mayne standing by. Sports Smash coming up for Bill Clement and all of our crew here in St. Louis. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Final, St. Louis 3, Los Angeles 1. I'm Gary Thorne. Sports Smash.